What's up, beautiful people? I'm Nathaniel Pearl.
And I'm Sammy Sheva.
And welcome to Curious Chimps Podcast, a show where we explore the infinite complexities of the human experience.
We do not endorse anything illegal, so please consult doctors, do your research, and for the love of all that is holy, be safe. All right, let's talk about drugs.
Curious Chimps.
Like, I don't know if you heard of like stoicism.
Sure.
This has been helping me so
Not much
much.
about it.
Stoicism. What would you?
It's let's say it's like a psychological
Philosophy?
art form. Yeah, philosophy. There we go. Couldn't remember the word. It's a philosophy of I want to say emotionlessness, but that's a simplification.
Like kind
It's-
of taking yourself out of like that emotional state and just like reminding yourself that it's all mind over matter. Like, you know, reminding yourself that it's you're making yourself feel this way, and kind of like reminding yourself that if you just change your attitude in 1 second, like it could possibly, it's not always possible, but it's a goal, you know? That's why I
practice
always
almost,
try
yeah.
to like work towards it. And every time that I'm feeling like down, I kind of like look at like quotes from stoicism lately. This is my new thing.
If it resonates, right? Go for it.
Sweet.
And I remind myself that, you know, like this is temporary, how I'm feeling, and, you know, maybe do something productive to like kind of make myself feel better about myself, I guess, essentially, you know?
I so resonate, man. Because like the whatever the catalyst, whatever the fucking depression, cancer, the melting of the two, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like there's like this beast that woke up now. There's this like part of our humanity that we're very aware of, and that maybe just Nate was aware of at a younger age, which is why we can maybe look at him and feel like he's a little more stable or something. I don't know.
I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't feel
Talking
stable.
about you like you're not here.
I feel like crazy.
That's part of it though, is that it's a presentation, but there's a really concentrated drop of genuineness in there because I don't know. Yeah,
You got the word.
because it's sustainable, you know. So sometimes maybe you're biting your tongue, but it's not hurting you. There's like maybe if we're biting our tongues our whole lives, then we start exploding or something, you know. Like that's a problem.
Yeah.
But then there's like this reverse effect where you realize you've been biting your tongue, and then you kind of lash out, and then I feel like that's where this depression came from. It's like I've been pretending for a long
Kinda
time
like
that I'm okay.
internalizing a lot of stuff. And
Yeah,
at the
that you
same
didn't
time.
need to.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we're keeping ourselves in check. Like I really feel what you're saying. There, it's like there's this fucking monster, and I'm just going like, oh, I can hear the footsteps now, and it's kind of like a Tom and Jerry thing. Like
Yeah.
it's not, we don't hate each other, but there's a bit of a rivalry or something. And
Like I always just have to remind myself, like, okay, you're feeling like shit right now. You're feeling really down right now. You're putting yourself down. Like sometimes telling yourself, oh, you'll never make anything of yourself. You'll never do anything. Like, and then after like I read many quotes from that, and it just kind of like centers me back. But I have to do it all the time. Like it's not something that I just like. I completely forget about it sometimes, and that's why it kind of piles up, you know? And then I just remind myself, and I'm like, okay, take on the rest of it until I don't need to do it anymore. Like, that's what I will continue to do, just remind myself.
you find something that works in those fucking garbage moments in life.
Yeah, that's
We're,
it.
Two
we're
things.
just, we're like started.
But yeah, we're going to start it somewhere. Just you try to get it close to the mouth. Like,
Okay.
you could, if you want me to lift it.
Can you fix it? Is this good? You know that I had a dream that I was here and I knocked the wine everywhere. Yeah, I had
Okay,
a dream
I'm gonna
about
keep
this
this
last
here.
night.
Okay.
That was-
I'm really clumsy, so
We're going to keep it away from you.
yeah, it's like I
It's
could
a
literally
prophetic
be-
dream,
You're
yeah.
like the Oracle in the Matrix.
It was kind of like something, I guess, that manifested itself. Like, just keep that away from me. But it came out of the glass, not just the bottle. Just
Okay.
to be.
So we'll be extra careful. How is this? Does this feel comfortable for you?
Is this okay? Yeah.
Who's texting me?
Put it a little bit higher for you.
Oh yeah, I wanted to show you. Okay, so this is this little.
Oh wow, it's so nice.
this is because the island has two like kind of ponds and a walkway in between.
That's private property.
Yeah, it is. But there's nothing built on it. I think it's just
Okay,
it's
it's
a
like-
shitty island. Like they can't build anything on it, so the
Okay.
owner didn't do anything, and people just go and use it like a park.
Oh, it's
I've
really
even
nice.
cleaned it sometimes because like some
People leave
16-year-olds are
garbage.
gonna.
Yeah, like go party there and
There's
stuff.
fire pits and stuff. It's a gorgeous place.
It's really, really nice. It's Laval.
Yeah, it's in Laval.
Okay.
Should I
It's-
see the audio quick? Sammy talk?
Hello. Testing.
Yeah, we're good.
I wonder if I can show this
Okay,
to the
so-
audience. Like, I just walk up to the.
Well, I gotta find a spot
Should I
to
put
edit.
it? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, as long as it's comfortable for you, but the closer the better.
That's
I would
like,
lo-
like to the mic, just so like the sound
Yeah.
here versus here has like a nice warm feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk
Definitely.
lower and be all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, you
I
want to.
noticed that on your episodes, very like warm
Yeah.
sound.
Hey,
Hey,
what's up? Beautiful.
Hello.
Okay,
Sexy
let's start this
monkeys.
thing.
Yeah, we're in. I hope.
Okay, let's do it.
I hope you start it like way early. Like we're just into a conversation, just getting all deep about personal stuff, and then like,
Maybe
hey,
we
by
can
the
edit
way,
it
We'll
and,
see how
like-
we'll see how it fits. Yeah. Hey, Chanel.
Hello, hi.
Jeez, it feels like it's been so long, but then like I don't know. The last time you were on, it was like episode like 31 or something, and now it's episode
Yeah.
50. And I was telling Sammy,
Wow.
it's like
And we spoke about this too, like
Yeah.
it coming to the state. Did we talk about the 100th episode or the 50th?
maybe.
You're like, I'm gonna have a big part. No, but this is a big
Yeah.
milestone as well. So
yeah, and what better way? Because episode 31 or whatever it was with you, it was like conquering, thriving through Hodgkins lymphoma.
Yeah.
And now it's like episode 50 is you conquering it.
Yes.
And it just, I laughed because like our viewers would be like, someone who's binging our podcast might finish it in a couple weeks. It's like, oh, episode 31. Oh, Chanel has, okay. And then like 7 hours later, it's like, oh, she beat cancer. What the fuck?
Look here, I'm here. my hair grew back and everything. No,
Yeah, it's
joking.
like-
This is a wig, guys.
I'm fine. It never happened. Let's talk about fun things. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the stand. It's not you. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay. I think that's
Fix it.
So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find
Put my phone on
the
silent.
video.
Yeah. So
I'm curious.
which one?
You said 31.
I think it was number 31 or something. Also, it's episode 50, Sammy. I mean,
Oh,
Congratulations,
snap.
guys.
thank you. And what better
Really
person to have
happy?
on than Chanel?
I'm never
Thank
happy.
you.
No, I'm kidding.
No, but that's a big thing. Like you guys got to like 50. Like I mean, I'm sure that you imagined it, but now you're.
I mean, it
actually-
was a
he dragged me kicking and screaming. Let's be honest.
yeah, but you know what?
I think I would
imagined
have had
it.
to be dragged too.
You know what though? It's like, it was like a conversation, but it's like, oh yeah, like we'll get there, but it didn't feel like we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel real now as it did back then, but it's like fuck. There's 50 episodes in. It's a weird.
Yeah, there's the weird kind of pushing forward, like hopefulness, and then there's the sudden realism of it, and now it's a little surreal because
Yeah.
it's happening, and I'm like, I don't. Well,
It takes a lot to get here because I mean, of course, like there's gonna be some times where you don't believe that it will become anything, like, or there's some videos that have more views than others. Like as I know, like from my YouTube, there was times where I was like almost doing it like because of that, but you did it in spite of that. Like you were doing it because you had a message and you wanted people to.
I think
you
it
know,
oscillates because like attention's a thing. You know,
Yeah.
you want views, you want to feel like you're doing
But
something
you
right.
guys had like a bigger picture than that, which is really good. It's not everyone that, you know.
I feel like we got pulled into the bigger picture though.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about
Yeah.
it. Like it morphs as it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's becoming less and less solid.
I think
in a good way.
The best
Yeah.
way to go about it is not direct it too much.
yeah.
Let it go to where it's going. And I noticed myself a few times like catching on to like the thinking about all the viewers and this and this. Sammy said it a few times like, yo, fuck them. And I'm like, oh, you're right. But
Yeah.
it's
But
really,
of course, it passes through the mind
but-
sometimes.
if you cater too much or try to turn it into a way where it's not what you want, it becomes what they want. That's, I think, where a lot of people will just, the modern
lose
term
it.
is like sell out or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they lose it. I don't want any of that.
No.
So we're just,
No, you definitely haven't done that at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I look at
sometimes,
this place, it's
you
chaos.
it's amazing. I love it. I love it. It's beautiful.
We're gonna add
You have
some
a little
stuff.
bit of a aesthetic going on here.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
very
it-
nice.
and it's funny
I feel
too.
like at peace, you know? Like, I don't know.
It
I
has
but in a
like it.
trippy way.
I wore I wore this shirt today,
Sick.
just like, I don't even know what it is, but it's just
It has patterns.
sun in
It's
the moon. moon and evil eye and stuff. I just thought it was fitting for.
It just
today.
screams like tarot or something, right? It's just
Yeah.
got that vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
It suits. It definitely suits.
I go with the room.
That's it. We're gonna hang you up on the wall. Oh yeah, that's Chanel. She's cool.
But yeah, it's. I mean,
Should I pour us?
Yeah, let's. You bought it, you pour it, brother.
What?
Celebratory wine for 50 and for Chanel. You got get you a towel. Okay, look, she had a dream that you spilled the wine, or not you, but the wine spilled. So let's all be careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very careful.
It's an omen.
I am not gonna be careful. I want this prophetic dream to come true.
Thank you.
Was there a golden owl in the dream?
No.
Okay, because that would mean, according to Adventure Time, that would mean that the dream's gonna come true.
That's how much of a klutz I am that I literally dreamt of
dropping
myself
shit.
spitting because I was actually so fearful that anyway, it won't happen. So it's okay.
I really still hope it does.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. L'chaim.
To the road ahead.
To the road ahead.
To the road ahead. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Pleasure. Well, I mean, I hope it will be. Yeah, pressure's on. No, I'm kidding.
It's good.
Hell yeah. Get some of that Liano. Sure got a couple bottles.
I'm a little
Be
spoiled.
hammered by like 5 o'clock.
Well,
Just
look,
like go on the shoot.
I barely
Let's
drink water.
go.
I
After
barely
party.
drink water, and I'm fasting. I'm gonna get shit faced. I'm already a lightweight, so I'm a disaster.
Let's
I
let's
can't wait
you
to
high.
see this.
Let's get him stoned too. It'll be fun.
Fuck yeah.
Let's get crunk, guys. Let's go.
So yeah, this is a laid back episode, everybody. We're gonna get into some deep topics, obviously, but like, fuck, this is a celebratory
Yes.
episode. Like, you conquered
thank you,
cancer.
guys.
You fucking did it. Like,
Yes, I did it. It's still an ongoing process, healing from everything, But yeah, like I'm so happy to say I did it. I wasn't expecting even to be done by now. So
we've had conversations where you had some doubts.
yeah,
You know?
definitely. I remember the conversations that I had with you at times. I was like, yeah, I'm not meant to live, I don't think. Look at some really deep things that I've said. Definitely, yeah.
I can't imagine. I honestly can't.
Just like days, a couple of days after like chemo, like feeling really down and not understanding what like my purpose was even, So I've been through the ups and downs of it. Came out for the better, but like I said, it's still like every day is still a battle. They say that it keeps on. They say that. Like the effects of treatment and everything, they linger for like a good 8 months.
Okay.
So I don't really feel like that. I feel like, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like really strong and I feel really like physically, maybe not mentally. Mentally, I'm a little bit all over the place, but yeah, so I feel so much better than I felt in like a year and a half,
Wow.
honestly. So, like, for me, I don't know. I don't really realize, like, the bad effects that, like, people have been telling me about because I've been, like, feeling way worse before than now,
I wonder if it's just the contrast. Like you're just like, it's so much better than how you felt before that you can't help but feel like 100%. You're just
yeah,
like,
exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's like, honestly, this is the best I felt in so long. So like,
Sweet.
I don't notice that I don't notice the after effects at all. Just mentally. That's it.
right.
Wow.
Yeah. But physically, I mean, I've been to the gym. I've been going to the gym like 4 or 5 days a week. I've been like trying to eat healthy and stuff. So I've been feeling really good though.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, your whole journey, you kind of, I think you were told like it was going to be like these hard moments. Obviously you had hard moments, but it
Yeah.
seemed at least from my view that you had a relatively like smooth
Yeah.
experience in terms of the treatments of
I
what
don't know. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know who was blessing me or how this happened, honestly, because I was so worried about everything, like going into this. And I'm not saying that it was not hard. It was really, really hard. It was the most challenging time of my life.
For sure.
But physically, honestly, like I was blessed. I don't know who blessed me. I don't know what happened, but all I know is that like compared to other people's experience that I've heard, I've been really blessed, like to say that I haven't felt like I never got nauseous. I never like that didn't happen for me.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
You don't have like
really
a
good.
food you can't eat anymore and all those things.
Oh my
like,
God. No, I don't have any. I wasn't able to eat grapefruit. Now I'm back eating grapefruit and sushi.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sushi.
Yeah.
That would be a tough one to give up.
Oh, that was really, really tough because I used to eat sushi like and poke bowls mostly. Poke bowls like all the time. But now I'm back to that.
So what's it like now? Just like coming back to like regular life in a sense, where now you can start doing things again. And
Yeah.
does it feel weird?
It feels definitely weird. I'm kind of like lost a little bit in a way because it's like now now I've been in like survival mode for like 6 months, you know, just living in between going to chemo and preparing for the next one. And, you know, so now I'm kind of just like, okay, what do I want to do now? Who am I going to be like in this second chance, like in my new kind of like a new life almost, you know, because like I've definitely changed a lot and I see things like really differently now. And, you know, before I started chemo and before I got diagnosed, like I kind of feel like it was a blessing that this kind of happened to me. And because I was lost, I was like partying a lot, you know, like with friends and not doing like things that were like, I knew that I had a lot of potential and I kind of just like forgot about my power. And, you know, so now I feel like I'm like reminded that, you know, that like those kind of things, like just to take care of your body and take care of your mind. And yeah, so I've learned a lot throughout this whole process, definitely.
neglected things that are now
Yeah.
obviously important.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we were talking about before. Like, you know,
Yeah.
these things rise up and now we've learned to, they've kind of earned our respect. Like we've learned like, oh, this governs a lot of how I feel in my life and I
Yeah.
need to maintain that. I have a question.
Yeah.
It's kind of tilted towards an answer, but I guess it's hard to,
Sorry.
this truth that you found through the suffering, which is a thing a lot of people can oddly enough relate
Yeah.
with. Do you think that kind of like helped you recover, helped you like ease you into like it's a new chapter, almost like you said, it's literally a new life, a new chance at life,
Yeah.
a new lease, like they say.
Yeah.
It's like the stuff you find in the depths, sort of like help you get out of the depths.
Yeah, definitely. Like I haven't worked, I haven't done anything for the past like 6 months. So like really I had time to focus on just
That's big.
And I was alone like, well, half of the time. Half of the time I was with my family and the other half of the time I was alone. I just had myself, like that's it. And I was just like thinking. All I was doing was thinking about what I want to do after this, thinking about like what I want out of life after this. So definitely it's been like really an eye-opening experience. Like I feel like if it wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't feel like the way that I feel right now, like full of hope and ready to like take care of like not just like living like let's say doing a job and living paycheck to paycheck or not living paycheck to paycheck, but just like essentially like working to pay for bills and stuff like that. Now I feel like, okay, I ask myself like, what do I want out of life? What are my dreams? Like, what are my goals? Like, let's not waste any more time and let's get to what the sacrifices that I need to make to be that person and to have like what I want, because I was living in like kind of like a safe zone, you know. So
Like
yeah,
like a given life, sort of.
and
instead
also
of
doing things that like pleased other people, like my mom and my dad, and you know, just like doing things that you know they thought like going to university and stuff like that, which is like honestly not like my goal anymore. My goal is to like make my own business and work for myself and not just do things just because that's like what society says. Like do things that like make your heart beat, make you happy essentially.
Do you feel like we spoke about it with a recent guest about the connection between the brain and the heart, the mind and the heart, and how for most of us it's severed, that connection. Do you feel like this kind of reconnected the two, and now you have like this deeper sense of purpose and understanding of your path, and as opposed to before was kind of just like if someone told you something you would kind of follow maybe or get influenced, but now you have like this understanding inside because you've connected the two.
Yeah, definitely. And like just being sick, like beforehand, being diagnosed and just living every day, like feeling like getting up and thinking, oh, this is my life. Like, because I didn't know what was wrong with me, you know? So I just thought that this was just me being tired and me being exhausted or whatever. But really, I didn't know like the deeper issue of what was going on with my body. I think that definitely, like, when I got sick and I found out that I was diagnosed, I felt like liberated almost, like, okay, there's more to life than just, like, the way that I was feeling. I feel like that strengthened my body, like, that connection to myself kind of thing.
It's like, it's not like a Boy Who Cried Wolf because it was actually something wrong, but did it, I guess it kind of felt like maybe there's something like, this is my life, and then that was like a confirmation. And no, I'm not crazy. Something was actually wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because I told you, like, in the last episode that I went to doctors and I knew that something was wrong, but everybody told me that nothing was wrong. So I kind of just believed it. And I was just like, okay, well, then this is life and life sucks. And
was there shame attached to that? Like
shame,
like towards yourself, because like if you were convincing yourself that maybe this is my life, maybe nothing's wrong or whatever, and then you just get tired doing random things and stuff. And were you hard on yourself at all?
Yeah, I definitely was like very hard on myself, and during that time I was like kind of giving up on myself in a way. Like I was like partying a lot, going out, like doing like whatever, you know, like to be honest. Like I still struggle to this day to avoid that kind of temptation. But yeah, like before that, when I went to doctors and they told me nothing was wrong and everything was going to be fine, like I was like waking up in the middle of the night with like high grade fever, night sweats, and I was like, okay, like
it's bullshit.
I guess this is my life now, you know? But really what I didn't know is that I was actually like dying. Like my doctor said that if I would have waited another month, like I could have just, my body could have shut down on me. Wow. So to know that I actually wasn't going crazy, you know, like when I went to the doctor, and even right before chemo, like I couldn't even breathe hardly on my own. Like I had to use an inhaler and stuff like that because I like my body was literally shutting down. So honestly, I was just like, I gave up towards the end. Yeah, I felt like a lot of shame, and I felt really bad. It was that, I think that was like the worst time of my life. Also, just like everybody asking me all the time, like, oh, what's wrong? You know, you look different. You look like bad. And, you know, not like I look bad, but like, you know, like you look tired. You look like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? You know, like everybody knew that there was something wrong as well, but I just couldn't. And I was just kind of like, I don't know, like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Everyone said I'm fine, but I don't
like,
feel
fine.
fine.
Are you on drugs? Are you on drugs? Like, yeah, but that's
not it, but yes.
You know?
So then fast forward to now, it's just
funny.
like looking at that whole spectrum. Do you feel like time was kind of now given to you as a gift? Like now, at least the appreciation of time and the understanding the value of time.
Yeah, I feel like I said, like I felt like this is like a gift to me. Like even this cancer was a gift to me. I really do feel that way, even though it was really tough. And I feel like if this didn't happen to me, like I'm a stubborn person, I would have continued living my life the way that I was going, and I would have continued going out and partying, not appreciating my body, not appreciating like my life, and like taking opportunities. Like for example, like maybe before all this happened, maybe like if you asked me to come, maybe I would be like, oh no, I'm not gonna take this out. Like, you know, I was turning down, I wasn't taking any opportunities for myself. Like I almost felt like I didn't feel like confident enough in myself to do anything. Like I didn't deserve it, you know. Now I know that like I deserve it, and it's taught me a lot like about that, definitely.
It's crazy. It's like in almost losing your life, yourself. You know, now it's like, oh, I'm still here, and it's like, oh, I've always been here, and it's like I have a right to be here. There's this kind of like this cascade of like
exactly.
logic.
Like, it started off as me not wanting to be here, to be honest, because at the beginning, before I knew it was wrong, I was just like giving up on life. I really didn't really care about my life. I felt like crap. I definitely wasn't thinking about like suicide. I never got to that point, but I felt like I was just here and everything was moving around me, and I was kind of just
Stuck
there. And then when I got diagnosed, I was actually happy. Like, I was scared, but I was happy. I was happy because I knew that there was a reason why I was feeling that like that. And so that kind of, even though I went back into feeling sometimes, like I told you, like, oh, like, why is this happening to me? That's why that came out of that part of me. Like, why is this happening to me? Maybe I'm not gonna, maybe I don't deserve, maybe this is what's meant to happen to me. Maybe this is where I'm done. Maybe this is where this is what's meant, like, I'm not meant to be here for very long as I expected. Whereas before, even before I got sick, I felt like, oh, I never really thought about like going anywhere, you know? I just felt like I had like this long life. I was gonna grow old.
This assumption.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like people say, oh, I want to grow old. Like, let's grow old together. Let's do this together. Like, you don't have all that time. Like, you can't think like that. It takes like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to maintain like yourself if you want to be here for a long time, you know?
And even then, you know, you never know.
Exactly.
And even then,
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so easy to just forget. Just forget.
I think
you know?
I'm sitting here talking to you right now, and I'm still that person. I think I haven't had like the fear of God put into me. I mean, fear. It might not even be the word fear. It's like I'm afraid, and you're not actually. I think you've had to face it, and now there's this openness to the reality, and somewhere in my psyche, on a clear surface level, I just feel like I'm not really conscious of the fact that I'm dying right now. Like I'm like there's
Every
a
day.
clock every day, exactly.
Yeah,
Every
there's your
second.
biological clock that has its expiration date, and then there's a life clock where whatever happens. You know, events or
Yeah, I
you
think it
cross
was
the
like
street
a
or
kind
something.
of a confusing in between those kind of two things that I felt like a battle between that during going through like the chemotherapy and everything. Like some days, like I told you, I was not good. I was like, why is this happening to me? Like, why, like, what did I do to like deserve this, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was other times like I said, oh, this is a blessing. Like, this is amazing. Now I'm gonna get through this, and I'm gonna like essentially, you know, like live here for a long time. Or if not, like, let's just think about like thinking about every day. Every day is a new day. What are you gonna do today? Like, that you'll be happy like with like the next day kind of thing, you know? Like, for you, not for anyone else, not for like the expectations or whatever. Like, every day to make yourself happy, you know?
That's
just
the
like
formula.
even if it's just one little thing, you know?
I think that's why there's so much misery, is because people, and I've done it too, and I probably still do it, but skip that first step. You know, skip that make myself happy. What am I doing for me to make? And then they go on to the next person. How can I make this person happier? Or just do all these things, and then you just miss that initial step. That if you do that first, everything else will follow after. You know, it's like a good foundation.
And a lot of people, they do what makes them happy every day, and like you're just left there like trying to make them happy when they're happy already, and you're left with like kind of like this empty feeling, you know?
What's that expression? Like, if you don't live your dreams, you're gonna work to build somebody else's, or something like that.
You're gonna build someone else's dream. Yeah.
Like their dream, they're pushing and making their dream happen, and they're gonna need some help. And if you're not making your dream happen, you're gonna end up you're gonna help them. And
I've
and it
kind of
might
realized that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I can relate to that kind of empty feeling, because you're dragging your feet. You know, like maybe you can believe in someone else's dream and even kind of adopt it, and it can be a healthy thing. But most of the time, like what you're getting at is this kind of this like wayward, like a lost feeling. This like this okay, I guess I'll do this because I don't know what I need to do. Like
yeah, exactly. Like going into I was studying marketing. Like, I'm really close to finishing. I have like 3 classes left. I'm gonna finish because, you know,
Why not?
You know, just why not? And it's gonna help me in the future, you know. But like, it was so depressing going to school and just feeling like, you know, like, this is not who I am. This is not like what I'm gonna do. Like, this is not what I'm gonna do. I've been in university for 3 years and I still don't know what I want to do. Everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be a lawyer. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. A lot of people, anyways, not everyone. But like me, I was still like almost about to finish university and couldn't even imagine my future at all. It was just every day was making me further away from what I actually thought, like from what I actually think I want, you know? So, yeah.
Is that clearer now, or is it just the space to
now
explore
I feel
that?
like I feel like I know what makes me happy. I kind of like picked up on it and focused on it a lot during this time. Like, I want to go into interior design.
Nice.
Because like it really makes me happy, like literally, because like even when I look at my house and or I'll walk into like hotels or I'll walk into stores, that's the first thing that I notice. I look at it and it makes me happy, looking at the design, looking at like so I realize that and I know like that's what I want to do.
Sweet.
So
I have
really
a friend
happy.
who's in that, and she's, you know, I mean, you know, sometimes it's just work, you know, but there's this outlet that Elisa, if you're listening, I love you. She's, you know, like I said, she'll complain sometimes because it just turns into work, and there's
It's
like
a
there's
technical
better
aspect,
days.
too.
Yeah, that's it. There's this kind of melange of things that need to happen, and then there's a space for creativity.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a little space of like
Yeah.
the building needs to, like, what do we do with these parameters? It's kind of like a puzzle. I think
Yeah.
puzzle is a good, and that sounds really fun for me. And I like the idea of like feng shui and like the energy, but I don't
Yeah.
see it when when I walk into a place, I have to kind
Yeah.
of think about it. I have to turn that on. So if you
Yeah.
have that naturally and you want to go for it kind of thing, I'm
yeah.
sure you'll have a blast.
Yeah, I love it. Like just like this room, it makes
well-
me feel very zen. It makes me feel like, you know, like
Yeah, we got
that's,
approved. I would just say before we
okay.
continue, just maybe a little bit closer because it's
little closer?
You can
Okay.
pull it towards you too.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
way better. Yeah, I mean,
Speak into the microphone.
I don't know about you, but I already feel this wine.
I'm
I'm on a fasted stomach. I'm telling you
I'm
right
a little
now.
bit of a drinker, so.
yeah. I'm not, but I'm not fasted. So
Okay, so
like
you have
then me.
How long have you been fasting?
I haven't eaten since 7 p.m. yesterday, maybe, or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's almost 24 hours. It's like 20 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But you're used to it.
Yeah, I mean,
You do it all. You
for
do
me,
it like
it's
once a week, right?
every day.
Oh, every day.
Well, that's the IF I do, so it's intermittent. So I'll eat in
Okay.
time windows. But today we just did back-to-back podcasts. I didn't feel hungry. I'm like, fuck it, I'll stay.
Okay, so you're gonna break the fast with that cheesecake.
Oh, jeez.
You are gonna crash. Oh, actually,
I'm going to crash.
is it worse or better though?
It's not good.
I feel like it's
Aw.
better. Like if,
But it's worth it. It's worth every bite. It just,
It's for the
I'm-
50th episode. Okay.
that's it.
But it just opens the floodgates where I'm just going to binge after that. It's just like,
No, dude. I'm gonna chain you to the radiator like a sugar eating werewolf. I'm gonna watch you. I'm a good friend. We gotta celebrate. We gotta celebrate life and victory and podcasts.
All about life.
But
Yeah.
then we're gonna
Absolutely.
celebrate abstinence and discipline, and you're not gonna die.
those are subcategories of life.
I
you gotta celebrate it
Exactly.
all.
love how I'm talking about like this this beat, like don't overdo it, like don't indulge, and there's literally a joint in between my fingers.
Enjoy a glass of
Talking like
wine.
this.
That's it. I'll just be like this, like this is
And some sugar.
stay
and
in
cheese.
school, kids. Yeah, that's it. Some cheesecake on
I
the
love
other
that.
side.
That's a good picture. You
That's-
with wine. And
It's like, that's a meme right there.
Like drink. Yeah, good times.
Good times.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea of interior design and all that stuff, this is new to you, or this was something?
no, it
This
wasn't
was, okay.
something new to me. It
Yeah.
was for a while that I thought about it, like maybe for like 2 years or so.
Okay.
Especially like when I traveled to like I went to Greece like 3 summers in a row, and I just
Nice.
love it there. And
Sweet.
I feel like I kind of discovered that part of me there, just like the aesthetic of like Mediterranean vibes and like the evil eye and just like the design over there, how it's like everything built into like caves and just, I don't know, I just like, I was amazed by that. And then that's when I noticed that, yeah, I think this is like what I want to do, because I've always been like a creative person, but I kind of just like put it aside because I was like in marketing. Marketing is, I mean, it could be creative, definitely. It could be creative, but it's very repetitive, you know? It's just basically, I felt like I wanted more than just to sell people things, you know? Like to essentially that's what it is. Getting into the psyche and targeting like different markets that could be creative, because you have to think of something creative to like get to that point.
It's usually like once you figure out that creative thing, you just redo it over and over.
Exactly.
And
and it's like almost like a little bit of a lie in a way. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Marketing is you think you don't need this, but
we're gonna.
Like,
I'm here to tell you something else.
You ever see those videos of like food products? Like it shows pizza and how they make it marketable for television. It's like it's incredible. They put like glue for the cheese. They first of all they screw it to the plate. So they put a drill in the middle. Then they put all this like glue on each side, and then they spray it with some shit. And then as they pull it, it just looks like the cheese is pulling off it, but that's just glue.
Yeah, they do.
There's a whole order from Domino's. It looks like cardboard. It's
like what the fuck? I saw it on TV. It looks so good.
No, they use varnish and
and I think they use motor oil for pancakes. They use motor oil on the pancakes because the motor oil doesn't change texture; it just stays. Whereas the syrup gets pulled into the pancake. That's
even like diving into some people's like very big vulnerabilities, like, you know, thinking like, oh no, that's the one thing that I couldn't like keep on doing, is to like, okay, this person is like depressed, so let's like target like that, you know, like that sensitive part of like the person. It was just like, no.
I don't want to get too meta, but like it's the whole thing is backward. It's ass backwards now. Like Bill Hicks used to joke about, like, if you're in marketing, just kill yourself. I mean, don't do that, please. But but it's like he was talking about that at a high level. I think we're exploiting people, and it's like
that's all it is. Well, I mean, it's more than that, but that's essentially what it is.
You may have a good product, and you need to use some marketing tools to get that to the public, because it's just the reality of it. Or maybe that's the game that they're all playing, so they have to play by the rules. I don't know, but for a lot of things, it's like, we have this bathing suit. We got to get you to buy it. We got to make you look ugly without it and look beautiful with it on. So how do we pump that out? And that's fucking with the psyche.
I definitely think that it will help me in the future, though. Like with my interior design, you know, like I'm gonna be able to know how to market that on my own.
I think they both touch on something similar. I didn't see that. Yeah, they really both touch on.
So it won't be completely useless, but
I think you can use your powers for good. I think
that's it.
There's drives, you know, there's things that we need in life, and sex and food and water are those things. And if you're like thirsty, and if you happen to be thirsty while you see like a Snapple commercial or whatever, sorry Snapple, I don't know. They're not gonna feel it. It's okay. Boycott Snapple.
Snapple
feel free to send some free merch over here.
I will take it gladly.
But anyway,
I'll wear a Snapple hat or something. Anyway,
but I haven't had Snapple in like 7 years. I
used to love the little facts. Yeah, and the little Snapple facts, and then sometimes it was a joke. And anyway. But my point is it's extra effective psychologically speaking. Like this, statistically speaking, if you're thirsty and you see this, like, you know, this wet bottle of thing, and the commercial where the person falls back into a pool or whatever, and like, you are way more likely to go. And here's the funny thing: you might not get a Snapple. You might just like go to McDonald's. You might go to some other commercial you experienced in the past, but it's hijacking one of those drives. And it's like, it's a little unfair. Yeah. It's a little. But here's what I was getting at before, which bothers me, and this is why Bill Hicks says, like, fuck these people. If you look at like we're talking about, let's say, how natural products become a fad and then become marketable, and then they start exploiting that. Yeah. Now that we're aware of that, that's a fad. And then you go on Netflix and there's a documentary about the dangers of the natural products. Yeah. And then on Netflix itself,
Wellness. Did you watch
Unwell?
that?
Yeah, exactly.
Unwell. Yeah.
And there's something called the social problem or the social experiment, and it's like, this is a thing on my media telling me that media is fucking with my brain, and I'm like, I give up. Well, like I want to unplug from fucking everything.
Honestly, that's the worst part. It's like confusing, and then like you almost get annoyed of people telling you that it's not good for you.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like going against, you know, it's like a vicious cycle.
It really is.
But you're still in the system regardless.
Yeah.
You're hating
Like
on
essential
marketing by
oils.
watching a movie or a documentary on marketing, or just use marketing as an
And they're
example.
marketed it to you.
It's dizzying. It's
It's the same story you were talking about from the community. That story, the wearing the jacket or not wearing the jacket, you're still catering to the fucking, you know?
That's the exterior lifestyle.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the healing process you're going through right now. Oh, okay, this is cool. We kind of went full circle, but
Yeah,
like
there we go.
yeah, like there's this escape from the need to please others. That's a little cliche, and I almost felt myself avoiding it, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
We want to be accepted, and we want to feel loved, and we lost that at some crucial moment in our childhood, and we held on to that, and we started chasing that. We started coveting that, and we unfortunately like sacrificed our self-attention, self-awareness, and self-care, self-love for that exterior thing.
Yeah.
And that might be the problem in and of itself. Maybe there's a defense mechanism stopping you from just full-on like loving yourself, but maybe it's just this weird bad habit, and you have to just.
And that's why
That's the
I
key
said
point.
that that's what I do to keep connected. Just remind myself I have to, like, that's the only solution that I've found that makes me stay grounded and makes me stay, like, you know, positive. It's just can always like reminding myself, like, okay, like centering myself, even if I have to do it like 10 times a day, even if like sometimes it sounds really corny, but like I'll write like a quote and I'll put it on my like that resonates with me, and I'll put it on the fridge, you know, or something like that, so that, you know, whenever I pass it, I see it and I read it and I'm like, okay, like reminding myself that not to be so hard on myself, you know?
It's like a poke in the stream of regular
Yeah.
life. It's like, oh shit, there's a quote there. I put it there for a reason. Now it's there. I see it. It reminds me of that state I was in. And then it kind of sets you right back into that, oh, I'm taking myself too serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And no judgment, just it works.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
fuck other people, fuck what should work, or just
Yeah.
that resonates with you, and that's
And
Hell yeah.
people say that it's like, oh, I'm having a bad day, but it's like it could be like one moment to the next. I find with like that emotion, like some moments you're feeling like good, and then in 2 seconds you're not feeling good anymore, and then like you kind of have to like battle that feeling like all the time kind of thing, you know?
Have you kind of found a separation with that, and you're able to? Is there like a kind of third person vibe? Like you're like on the outside looking in. You're like, oh, now I'm suffering, but like everything's okay. Everything is as
Yeah.
okay as it ever was. It's
Yeah.
just a feeling that's
Yeah, I
arising.
just have to like remind myself, like, oh, like you're here for a reason. Like, look at what you just been through. Like you and regardless, like there was other people that didn't make it like through what you've been through, and you know, just constantly being grateful for my life and realizing that there's like a reason why I'm here and why I made it, like through why I'm here with you guys, you know, like just. I know that there's a purpose to this, and I just have to trust myself and continue to like make the best of my situation, taking opportunities that come my way and that make me happy, that will, you know, and that's what I've been doing. Like I've been doing things like that essentially make me like maybe a little uncomfortable or whatever, but after I do it, I feel so like proud of myself, you know? So, yeah.
That's huge.
Sweet.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it feels like that's a beautiful thing, but like you went through something that was like could actually kill you, and something that's
Yeah.
like there has been many that in your path that didn't make it, but you did. So getting into that uncomfort, you kind of know what happens after.
Yeah.
I mean, so you know, like this might make me feel weird, but I know the outcome, the product afterwards is just going to be so liberating.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and like
cool.
also like giving people that like making my YouTube channel, for example, like I haven't made a video in a while just because I'm going to make another video, and I thought about what I'm going to talk about. Sweet. But just like that wasn't something that I ever thought about doing, because like the person that I am, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I always thought about it, but actually doing it, I'm kind of lazy, like, you know, so I never got around to it. And I'm not like very outspoken, kind of like, well, I am. I have very strong beliefs and all that, but like to get out of my comfort zone and to do that, like it meant a lot. But I got like constant validation from that, because like there are people still adding me right now from YouTube that have watched my videos that are going through like almost every day, at least like 2 or 3 times a week, I get somebody like adding me, asking me, oh, I seen that you're in remission now. Congratulations. I just got diagnosed last week. Wow. And like, I just tell them everything that that helped me, or that I wanted to hear that I didn't hear. And it feels so good to like know that, like, even though sometimes it could be uncomfortable to talk about certain things, like the fact that like I'm helping somebody else through what they're going through is like everything to me, you know, like it just feels so good. Like, and it just like, I feel so deeply for other people that are going through the same situation, you know, especially in the States too, because I mean, like, here we're lucky. Here I'm so lucky, right? Because all the things I've been, it's covered by the government. They have to.
If they don't have insurance, they're fucked.
And even if you have insurance, that's going way up, you know? Like, so that's
crazy.
Yeah. So
that's
it's
like
been
a whole other layer of stress.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing too. Like that made me so happy about everything that I've been through, is like helping other people like going through the same thing, and just like talking about our experiences together, and like on my worst days, you know, like just messaging somebody I've never even met before and saying, oh, I'm feeling like this. Like I'm not feeling good today. I'm not feeling, and like they know exactly what you're going through. You know exactly what they're going through. We share like quotes amongst each other that bring each other up. And I will continue to like do that, and like find different ways to, even if I'm in remission, or even if I'm cancer free, even if I continue to be cancer free for like the next like 5 years, I feel like that was like a very rewarding experience, just meeting so many people going through the same thing. Yeah.
What kind of stuff? I mean, I'm just curious, like in detail. I don't know if you can think of an example or something,
I'll
but
try.
like you're saying like you're saying stuff that you wish was said to you. Is there anything you can think of?
Okay, let me actually, I thought about this before coming. Like one thing, I feel like if you know anyone that's struggling, like, or like going through cancer and everything, I feel like there's some people that did this towards me, and there's some people that I wish they might have or whatever. But one thing I could say is like, you know, when you say to a person with cancer, like, oh, let me know if you need anything or something like that, I think it's really sweet. I think it's very nice. But I feel like when somebody is in distress and they're in this situation where they already feel like they're kind of a burden in a way, because that's kind of how I felt sometimes, you know? I felt like, you know, I'm already projecting my situation onto this person and making them a little sad in that way. The fact that like, thinking about like somebody that, because I know that before I was diagnosed, when I used to watch movies or when I heard somebody had cancer, it really like made me sad. It really made me like really, really, really upset, you know? So like when someone asks, let me know if you need anything, like instead of asking them if they need anything, I would say, you know what, send them funny videos that are going to make them laugh. Go there and help them. Don't have them ask like, oh, let me know if you need anything, because the chances are they're not going to let you know. Yeah. They're not going to let you know because they feel already like a burden. So I think that's really, really, really important for people to know, that if they know somebody that's going through a hard time, don't just say, let me know if you need anything. Like be there, or like, you know, but obviously it's easy to say to somebody, and you're meaning very well, of course, you know, but the best thing to do is actually, I don't know, show up and help them out with like the dishes, or bring them out for coffee. Just say, okay, I'm coming over. Let's go out for a coffee.
The truth is no one's going to ask that, you know, like it would help so much if you just came over and did my dishes. Like no one's going to say that.
Yeah.
But it'd be such a small favor between friends. And it's like, of course I would love to do that for you. Like that's exactly what I meant when I said, call me if you need anything.
Yeah.
I got a car. I got some free time. I'll be there for you, man. I'll go do your groceries or whatever.
Which is like, yeah, exactly. Like, like obviously the person that's saying that is not meaning to be like, oh, I'm just gonna say that because I know they're not gonna ask, you know, like they're not thinking that in their head, you know.
I hope not.
But
Maybe some do.
No, that they're not thinking that in their head. Well, maybe a couple. Maybe they're like, you know what, I don't have time. Let me just put this
I just
out
have
there.
to say this. This is the thing you say, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And like I feel like a lot of people like kind of said that to me, you know, like in a way. And this is like a thing that I discuss with many people like that are going through cancer. I think that was like the biggest thing that came up with a lot of the people that I've met that are going through the same thing is I think we all kind of feel like if you want to help, just help kind of thing, you know, like if you just show up with send me a funny video, ask me how I'm doing, and without me having to, you know,
because you're already going through such a process, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then on top of it, thinking like you're projecting or you're being too needy or it's just so much going on. You're so vulnerable in that state.
Yeah.
So it's like
People are just like afraid of each other.
Like,
it's
yeah.
like if
why
you
is that?
I think someone snapped at us when we were young, and we just like we internalize it. Like, that. Let's say you don't want to feel like you're asking for more because you're already asking for just by presenting your suffering. You're the
Yeah.
one going through this nonsense.
Yeah.
But this person now has to take that on emotionally, and you feel that because you're empathetic. That's it's just the way it is.
It's this tough it up
it's
culture.
I think that's like the worst
Sort
part
of,
about
yeah.
everything is like, you know, like I felt who was kind of like for example, when you messaged me and stuff, like I genuinely felt like happy because you were like motivating and you were like, I don't know, you didn't say, oh, ask me if you need anything. You actually like,
I went on tangents.
you know,
"Tush, tush."
you know, like, and that felt like really good, like, you know. So like some people, they're just like, oh, you're in my prayers, you know, you're in my prayers. Oh, thank you for your prayers. I'm pretty sure that it had an effect on where I am today, you know. So I appreciate everything, but I'm just saying that someone's in that situation, I feel like it makes a huge difference.
Like
if
just
you
taking that extra step
yeah,
might really
just
change
that
the
little
whole outcome.
step,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was like very important.
It's a good point because from the opposite point of view, from the outsider perspective, I can see how it might feel like a little bit scary.
Yeah.
And how to approach. Maybe you feel like
Imposing.
I would have done the
Yeah.
same thing if I didn't go through what I've went through. I think I even did do that before. Like I think when people were going through tough situations, I think that was the first thing that I said. Let me know if you need anything, you know? But now I truly understand that when you're going through that, you need a lot of stuff.
that's
You
good to
need-
hear again.
Yeah.
To hear because
Yeah.
you know what? It's like your initial response is to I got to do these things, but then you go, oh, maybe I should just back up a little bit and see if she needs it. But no, go with the initial
Yeah.
response to whatever you want to do for that person.
And if they're like, hey, fuck off, then whatever, you tried, you know? Like,
That's the fear, right?
Like
That's
the
like you don't want to
rejection,
impose.
that's what you're
you
unfolding
don't-
is rejection. That's
How
what it comes down
crazy
to.
is
I love when people impose.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
I personally, I get annoyed sometimes because I want like my things to be where they are, and
Yeah.
when someone comes
that's
in,
kind of
and-
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what mood I'm in, and it doesn't matter if I rejected that advance or not. I will never forget that. Someone went
And
out of their
that's-
way to help me, and I
Oh
didn't
my
have to
God.
ask one way or the other. Even if in the moment I went like, "Yo, you gotta fuck off," or like, "No, thank you," or whatever. That person, I might have fucked that person up for life. They are never gonna take that chance again. But I gotta find them and be like, "Look, man,
Thank you
I know
for
you
that
think it didn't
time."
get through, but it did. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I didn't need the soup, but I needed you to show up and like offer me the soup."
Well,
kind of
thank you
thing.
for the soup. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
it.
Thank you. But people understand that too, like that you're going through an emotional state or whatever, and like maybe you reacted in that way, but really like what you meant is like give me a hug, you know, like kind of thing. But yeah, definitely, I learned that. And another thing that I've learned is that like people are so like the most unexpected of people, like they're so kind. Like I just like kind of restored my faith in people. Like I didn't realize how big of a heart like people have and like how much actually people care. Like people that I haven't even spoken to in so long. Whereas people that that was just hanging out with, you know, like partying and stuff, didn't even message me and say, oh, how are you? You know, like I'm not saying that I expect it. I'm just saying that I just had like a new like restored faith in humanity after like seeing like going through what I went through. I'm just like now I'm so purposeful in like the way that I I changed in that way. Like, I feel like I really try to do like my best for other people too that are going through like difficult situations. And when I see things like on, let's say, people going through different things on like my Facebook or my whatever, I literally like step out and send them encouraging things that help me through like difficult times. You know, I just feel like it just, and I reached out to all the people that helped me during those times too, and I thank them. And like, I hope that one day, not repay, but I hope to, I don't know, help them in some way when they need it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
that option's there, you know.
pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
I love that concept.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you can't pay them back, but you just remember it and carry it, and you have this little wisdom now. Like we were just talking about.
It has ripple effects. It will.
Yeah.
You know, at some moment, maybe something's going on with someone, and then something was wrong. I don't know. Something wrong because of what that person did to you, and then you just acted in a moment where you maybe wouldn't have beforehand because it happened to you.
Yeah, definitely can completely change me in that way. I really pay attention to like little details like that. Or even like sometimes I'll see that somebody's not feeling very like good, and I'll take it upon myself to like really get into like their head and see like what's going on, you know? Like, for example, my little brother, he's 18. I seen that he was posting like, you know, sad things on, and I was like, what happened, you know? And him and his girlfriend broke up. It's his like first girlfriend, you know? And like just letting him know that like I'm his big sister and I'm here to like talk to him about anything. Whereas before maybe I would have been like, oh, he's just a kid. He doesn't know any better, you know? Like,
you're like honoring the emotions more.
Yeah.
Lily, shut up.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
it.
everyone.
Honoring
My dog is barking.
Lily. I'm gonna do my marketing after.
I love it.
Do it. Teach us your ways. We don't know how to do that shit.
Lily just played us all, by the way. She's like, they're not letting me in this fucking place. I'm gonna bark my way in here.
And she got exactly what she wanted. Now she's sitting. No.
They
She's just gonna
always
bark
do.
every time now.
This is
She
bad.
figured
I
it
just
out.
rewarded.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I got her when she was like the size of my shoe. It's really,
I know. I remember.
Yeah.
Like she was really tiny.
it's really odd to see something grow up because I only see her in the small lens. So then when people respond to her size, I'm like, oh shit, I guess she's big. But I only see her in those lens. So I understand parents
Like
when
she'll forever be your baby.
yeah, and it's so like cringeworthy, but it's so true.
It's so cute.
And like I understand when parents only see their children as children, like
Yeah.
you know, and they could be a grown ass fucking adult,
Yeah.
but they don't see that because they helped you through this world. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like
Yeah, that's it,
I
like-
wiped your ass, kind of.
Yeah.
I wiped your fucking ass.
wiped
you
your
know? I picked
diarrhea.
up her poo. You know, I've done.
I taught you how to wipe your ass, bro. Think of me every time you take a shit. It's like that's what my parents should say.
It's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah. No,
Think about it. They literally were in control of your life, and they could have ended it at any moment, but they kept it going because.
Whoa. There's lines like that, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's a joke, but it's not. It's funny because it's true. It's like you came out of my balls, like shit. Like when they say shit like that, like
You
that's
came out of my balls.
literally what happened. You're like, damn, you have a different perspective of life and my life, and I'm me over here, and
Yeah.
you're my parent. But it's like I am your baby.
You know, for all those listeners who have children, you probably can resonate with this. I asked a client, I was training a client, I asked him, what's it like to love something more than yourself, like a child? And he's like, once I was running for the bus and I had my 2 kids in my shoulder, like, we're going to miss the bus, so I'm running. And they're both crying and just schnots everywhere.
Snotting.
I think one of them was snotting everywhere, and they were crying because it was coming out. So he had no Kleenex, he's holding 2 kids. He sucked it out of their nose and spat it on the street and kept going.
What a champion.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, okay, I understand. Like to love someone to that point where you just do that, like without thinking, it was just reaction response.
Yeah, like you don't have that like
Like,
disgusting
it's
feeling.
like, get the
about
fuck
them,
away
yeah.
from me. No, it's like, okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Are you okay now? Like I did what I had to.
Great. But then I told that to other parents, like clients that are parents, and they're like, yeah, I would have done the same. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think that. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have done that to my brother or my sister, but yeah,
I understand that I don't understand now.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
yeah, exactly. Like I understand, but like yuck.
Yeah, like I'm still in the yuck response,
Well put,
but
exactly.
we're gonna
But
all
I'm
understand
sure that
that.
I'll understand one day, and I can't wait for that day. But until then,
Yeah, stay away from the schnot sucking days for a few more years, and then we'll see. Boom.
yeah.
Why is it always that song? Oh, it's Rogan.
Is
Rogan
it?
again.
Is it?
Yeah, he sings that a lot.
Oh, could I have a little?
Hey yo,
Oh yes.
Thank you.
say when, or don't.
Oh,
We'll fill it
This
to
was
the
a bad idea. I'm gonna go over
do
the
you want me
mic.
to do it?
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
He's like, no, not on my expensive
Tell
equipment,
me when.
girl. Oh, what? That's
Maybe
okay.
yeah. If the we've prophesized the
I'm
spill.
already feeling it, by the way. So. There you go, brother.
Grazie.
Grazie
Grazie.
mille.
Grazie mille.
Grazie. I don't even know the thank you in Hebrew. That's how bad of a Jew I am.
Oh, how do you say thank you? I think I don't know. I don't know.
There's a drop left. Let's spread it amongst each other.
I only need to know one word in Hebrew.
Drop each.
What is it?
Kadima.
Kadima? What is that?
What's Kadima? I know that is a grape juice brand.
It means forward.
Forward? Oh, that's nice.
I learned it from a TV show, and it resonated with me.
Were you educated in that way, like when you were growing up? Or
Not even a
whatever?
little.
No,
I'm so the opposite. I just look Jewish. I'm not Jewish.
you're not.
No.
No, I swear to God, you really do.
Everyone's
I
like
assumed
Morocco,
that you
and I'm
were.
like, no.
You might
No,
have
I
in
just
some part of your
literally
bloodline.
felt like I don't know.
Yeah.
It just felt like you are.
You might have in-
What's your background?
Both my parents are Italian.
Okay,
actually.
Italian. Okay,
yeah.
that
but
works
my
too.
dad's Sicilian, so it's even more
Sicilian,
like
like
okay,
you're
who
from
knows
the
what's in
South.
there? Yeah.
The South, yeah.
That's like every mob movie is based on the Sicilian
yeah,
bloodline.
The Sicilians, yeah.
That's like the only way to
They're
be
hot.
a boss. Yeah.
They have fire in their veins.
We don't fuck around.
Like to be a boss, you have to have both parents from Sicily. It's the only way you could be a
That's
boss.
it. Not from Calabria. Forget about it. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Fucking
I think my mom is Calabrese.
love the mobster era of movies. Damn.
Oh my God, yeah, definitely. Love it.
I
I
love-
love all kind of like mom movies.
It's
I'm
incredible.
all about it.
You want some weed?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Wait, oh, that's not illegal.
Nope.
For some viewers, it's illegal in your
Bought
state.
from the SCCQ.
Let's bust out some illegal stuff. What do we got? We got some guns and
Got some DMT. That's about it.
yeah. We
Yeah,
got some.
speaking about that.
We would
Can't
blast
wait to
off to
try
the
it.
spirit realms.
Let's go
There we go.
on camera. Let's go. First timers.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go with you to try some ayahuasca.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Did you contact them?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we'll talk about that off air, but
Yeah.
because it's going to be released any day from now, the dates.
Mm-hmm.
But we were trying to get a group to go. I mean, because it will be in November.
I have to ask you a question though.
Yeah.
Am I gonna ship myself or not?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. I'll just put. You know what?
Are you gonna help me?
I've had that question.
Good call.
I've had that question so many
Good call.
times. I'm just gonna start saying yes. Yes, you're gonna shit yourself. No, you probably won't. It's the shitting yourself is very rare. Puking, well, they call it the purge.
Yeah, purging.
More probable. I mean, I purged almost every ceremony up until like the last two.
Would you say that you have a sensitive stomach, like in general, or?
Fuck it, I'll take one hit for the 50th.
sure?
Yeah,
I
sorry,
don't like
Mom.
that smirk, bro.
Let's do it. Well, I'm already feeling the wine. What is this gonna do?
I don't like a half smile.
Well, you're getting a full
like
one
it.
after the toke.
I feel that like hydro kind of. I don't know.
I don't know. All I know is it's sativa.
Beautiful.
I'm not gonna feel schlocked after. Whatever that means. Schlock. It's
What
just
were we
it's an
saying? Puking,
onomatopoeia.
purging, stomach.
It happens at the beginning, which is kind of nice for
But in
most people.
Yeah, but in general, I've always had like a. It was easy for me to vomit. Like my friends we used to play this stupid game. I don't know what's wrong with us, but in high school we'd play who can make each other throw up 1st. So we do like all these sounds like, and I was always
Oh
the
my
first one to
God,
puke.
whoa.
Like dumb games, like young kids.
No
And
wonder you have that gag reflex now. Like
I
you-
was the first one to vomit every time, and I always initiated the game. Funnily enough. But
Funnily.
Let's play
Scuttling
that
along.
fun game.
but I don't know if that's related during ayahuasca because the purge feels so different. It's
Yeah.
like it's not like a sick vomit. It's like there's something that needs to come out, and it wouldn't have came out
Yeah,
without
it's
drinking
almost
that.
like I watched a lot of documentaries about it. It's like your trauma and everything
Yes.
that's coming out,
There's
kind
like-
of thing, right?
There's like this deep the way it's like deep storage lurking inside, and that storage is like could be just emotion. It could be like bad nutritional habits. It could be a fucking
it could be
laundry
like,
list of things.
Okay.
And sometimes you purge and nothing comes out. It's just like energy. It's like like weird
I have
sounds.
a feeling that that's gonna be me.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't
it's
know.
very tied to emotions for
Did you
me.
purge your first ceremony?
After the rapé,
After the rapping.
and I really feel like something came out.
I remember you told me. I think you said it was
Oh.
like a bubble or something. Was that you that told me that? It was like a ball coming out?
Maybe
Okay.
I don't fully remember
I've
that
been
part.
there too many times, man. I'm mixing up like 20 stories in one.
I just
How many times have you went around?
I think I just finished I just did my 15th ceremony, I believe. 14 or 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to see how you feel? You want more?
I'll take one more.
It's gonna hit you slow because you don't have it floating around in your blood like we do. Our bodies know what to do with it.
Last podcast saying, weed doesn't agree with me.
Yeah.
I don't, and then the next podcast, peer pressure.
Hopefully
Come
this
on,
is
bro.
not too like. I don't feel like it's very overpowering. This one, like it's
No,
like I
that's
smoked
why
some
I
weed
like
before, and
sativa.
it's just like boom.
I think
you
a
know?
lot of my problem with my relationship with weed is that I was smoking it pre-legalization or pre-knowledge of what the fuck weed is.
Yeah.
And I was just getting blasted into oblivion with weed that was probably sprayed with Windex or something.
Yeah.
Do you
And
know? Was it spice or whatever that's called?
whatever it
That's
was is it
synthetic
took me
THC?
literally in between realms where I was kind of looking at this reality and kind of not sure
Yeah,
where I
like
was.
it just wasn't for you. Like
Yeah, but I was
yeah.
also very young too. I was,
Yeah, but me too. I went through like I was like up and down with like marijuana like my whole life. Like when I first tried it, it made me freaking like bad trip and like whatever. Then I somehow became a pothead. So I was doing that, but I still wasn't agreeing with me. And then I stopped.
Do you already
and I started again. No, I'm good. Thank you. I started again
Yeah.
and
It's gonna be harsh.
I started again, like mostly during like the treatments and everything, because like if you're going through like cancer or whatever, like if you go to your doctor and you're like, oh, I can't sleep, I can't do like I can't like I feel really depressed, like they're gonna give you whatever it takes to like get you through that tough time, because they just want you focusing on like chemotherapy,
healing
getting
process.
better, right?
Yeah.
So they're not. If you're having problems sleeping and everything, that means that you're not getting enough rest, and that means that your body is not going to repair itself.
Yeah.
So they want you to sleep. So they'll give you like sleeping pills and stuff. So I had a lot of trouble sleeping at the beginning, and they prescribed me like Ativan, but I never took it. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try smoking weed and see if it helps me, you know, instead of taking Ativan, and it actually like helped. So
Wow.
I still have it, and like I never had one, thank God, because actually I'm happy that I was able not to take it, you know.
You know,
What are the bad side effects of Ativan?
Ativan, well, I mean,
Sorry to interrupt.
no,
you.
it's all good.
it's
just
like
curious.
it's a pharmaceutical drug, right? So it's like
That's it.
it's
I just have a.
it's like a dependency kind of thing, you know. Well, the side effects, you mean like, oh, well, how does it
Okay,
work?
no,
kind of
it's a
thing?
sleeping pill. No, a side effect,
Oh,
like
what is
the
it?
bad
Okay,
effects.
yeah,
The-
yeah.
I want to know the
It's a
bad because I
sleeping
just have that
effect.
pharmacy like aversion that a lot of us have now, and you just assume it's like, yeah, it'll help you sleep, but it'll also make you think about killing people or like something
Yeah.
crazy, and
well,
it's like,
technically,
what?
that has the potential to be like Ativan has that
Can make you
sort of
depressed or
potential.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how you take it. It depends on if like, well, actually, Ativan is not so bad because it's like you take it when you need it, kind of thing. You don't have to take it like constantly. Like
Less
it's
of
not
the
it's
nightmare
not
stories of
like
dependency and
but
shit.
if you do take it, like let's say 3 days in a row because you can't sleep 3 days in a row, then you don't take it on the 4th day, you're gonna feel like you can't sleep.
The
You know?
dependency becomes a big issue.
Yeah,
then.
exactly. So I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, you know, maybe if you take it once in a while when you can't sleep, it's okay. But if you start taking it every night to go to sleep, then you're gonna build your dependency on it, and it's gonna cause you not to be able to.
It
to
even says
sleep.
that shit on
Yeah.
ZQuil, like even the over-the-counter shit is
Oh,
like.
ZQuil, yeah, I took that one time just to go on the plane for a trip on the plane. It actually really helps.
When I was like severe depression, my boss was like, I kind of been through what you've been through, which is, I like that he said like sort of, because when someone's like, I know how you feel, and you kind of get cagey. So he was smart enough to be like, I went through a thing that was like what you're going through, maybe, you know, like just, miss me. And he's like, I would take these like ZQuil gummies, like these, you know, it doesn't have like the cold and flu stuff. It just helps you sleep. And it has like melatonin and like some other natural stuff
Okay.
in
It's
it
Probably
mixed
the
in.
main active ingredient for what it was helping you. Where you
Maybe.
sleep. Yeah, the melatonin.
At first, I think it was because of my dream quality, but then it started kind of fading. But he said that, and in the morning he took fish oils, and he says like that'll give you an edge at least. Get some good sleep and get some fats in your
wake
brain.
you up from the kind of downer in a way.
I don't know.
The
I think it
fish?
was a nutrition thing. I think it was just like your brain is like from a neurological standpoint, depression is damaging or damage, but it's like a damage that creates a state that creates a damage. So you get this run-on damage. You get this like being acting depressed, whether you are or not, will damage you. You'll just you won't learn new things. You won't.
Your body reacts to like the way that you're projecting yourself to feel in a way.
Exactly, 100%. Like the tension is going to manifest and all these kind of things. Yeah. So. Yeah. I forgot what I was talking about because of weed.
The powerful weed.
I was like,
yeah, I know exactly.
what are we talking about?
Before, I just wanted to say, because I had a client who he passed away, rest in peace, but he had stage 4 lung cancer.
Can I pour some?
Yeah, pour just on the mixer.
Like, fuck off.
You should have been an actor, man.
I don't know, man. A terrible actor, just straight face everything. I play a very specific role.
You
it's
can
like
pull it out.
the bodyguard that just takes that shot, you know?
Yeah, like you can't even get ready for that kind of thing.
But so I was talking to his family after, because I massaged them, and I was talking to his daughter after he passed away, and she said that like at the final, because when you're at stage 4, they can do a little bit more exotic treatment on you and try different drugs if you opt to that option, you know, and it helps science and it could actually help the person. So some of it was just medical marijuana, and apparently from the daughter's account, he was acting like he was eating like insane amount of food when he was on the medical marijuana versus when he was on the other stuff, and he was just in a better mood and everything. He had less pain. He barely felt anything, but she was saying it might have been too late in the treatment because it was like the last option. You know, he wasn't eating, and then so they gave him, okay, we'll try the medical marijuana, and everything changed. So they're living with now. I hope they've come to terms with it. But that idea that maybe he started sooner,
I think definitely, in my opinion, is like definitely medical marijuana is like amazing. Like I wouldn't even been able to like get through what I went through if it wasn't for that, because I felt like it didn't make me eat very well, like rather than not being on it. Like I actually like was like generally, at least I was eating. A lot of people like they just can't eat, they can't, you know. So I feel like that helped my appetite and everything, but I don't think it would have necessarily helped cure, like put the situation like any better. Like in my opinion, I feel like that needs sometimes chemotherapy, like you don't need it, but like that's the only way that it will, like especially at that stage. So I don't feel like they should feel like guilty. I feel like it helped me through. I feel like it helped me through a really hard time, and definitely
they were
helps
surprised.
me navigate it.
They were so surprised.
Because everybody thinks, oh, marijuana, like drug, it's a drug, it's like a thing, right? And I agree in some aspects, but definitely helps through a lot of things as well. Like,
well, look, it's legalized in Canada now. It's like the shift is happening. You know, maybe not at the pace where we want, because we're individuals and we're like, I want, like, it makes sense for me. It should make sense for everyone, but I think it's just spreading at its pace. And, you know, that pace, I guess, is like 30 years for the weed at least, but now that opens the door for everything else.
It's you can't deny the usefulness, you know. There's just this weird dissonance.
You can until the science shuts you up, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, and then like riding the coattails is like LSD and psilocybin.
You know what's funny is like
it's like a wrestling match where it's like, oh, and then LSD comes out.
But you know, they've been seeing the narrative.
And that's when shit gets fucked.
You know what the narrative? The narrative for the longest time was weed is a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug. Remember growing up? It was a fucking gateway drug to legalizing all the other drugs, because now people are like, hey, what the fuck?
They manifested it.
So it was a gateway drug.
Yeah, it was a gateway drug.
They literally manifested it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Because now, so like mushrooms, for example, is probably going to be, it's in the discussion. Probably in 2 years, you'll see mushrooms legalized in clinical use.
Yeah, that's the next thing, like the little whisper. Well, not whispers. It's louder than a whisper.
That's the gossip.
Yeah, definitely microdosing and
It's
Definitely.
mainstream now. It's
Yeah,
mainstream.
exactly. Like
Way
it's-
more than it
it's-
ever has been.
That's the next step, I think.
I think in the States, well, I guess the States kind of dictates everywhere, but it's starting with MDMA. They're in phase
Yeah.
3 clinical trials with MAPS. I think that's like a 6-month process or a year process. So we could literally see in 2021 MDMA legal across the board in psychotherapy sessions.
What do you think? Psychotherapy sessions strictly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think honestly, I did MDMA once. I went to New City Gas, like a little rave / club.
Me too.
Oh yeah, and I remembered I took 2 pills that night, and the source was like, these are the strongest fucking pills you can get. So I'm okay, whatever. And I just remember thinking, like, I was like seizuring. I'm like, this is too good without a come down. I'm like, there's no way you can go that high without the opposite in the same weight as low, you know? And I was right. I was depressed for a month after. I was really fucked.
Yeah.
The clinical setting, I think the dosages are way smaller than what we think, or it might even be like a flood dose. I'm not even sure.
It might be a quality thing too.
That's
Maybe
the
there's variations and stuff.
That's
like,
it.
I feel
True,
so
yeah.
ignorant now that it's like in the science mainstream. It's like
Yeah, but you know what else is
It definitely makes you feel not so good. Like, because I know the one that's recreational, the one that like it's not legal, like going out partying and taking that definitely
some,
makes
yeah,
you feel like
ecstasy pills or
after.
something.
Yeah, and
Not me though. That's why I think I have ADHD.
or you had a really good source.
No, but never though. Like I had friends who were depressed the next day. At the very least, the next day.
And you were fine.
Never felt that. I was.
You were good?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I had just missing dopamine in my brain.
So like, yeah.
So I'm just like, yep, that's normal life. And everyone else is like, oh, what's wrong? And I'm like, what?
Like, this is life.
Yeah.
That's why I think the huge benefit of having things legalized in the medical setting is that they're regulated. The dosages are fucking 99% correct. I mean, probably even 100% correct. You know.
And there's therapy with it. That's
Yeah.
the big. That's the biggest thing.
So the whole
It's
thing
like
with
a
the
lot of these people are paving the way for the future kind of thing.
Which who knows what that's gonna look like. We might have
Yeah.
like so Jay always talks about soma. Like we just take the be okay with everything pill, and it doesn't really matter what's going on anymore. Everyone's just like burr, 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 burr.
Yeah,
Ooh,
oh my
this
God.
is nice, and yeah, we're all like slave to some crazy system, or we're all just happy they're taking it too.
Yeah.
The politicians are like, you know what?
But that's what
We should put more money into that thing. Like,
Yeah,
who knows?
It will be definitely need to be a little bit regulated.
Yeah.
or else I don't know what's going on.
We need a decentralization. We need a.
But who knows? Maybe some
need to be
fucking
smart.
governor takes it. And it's like, fuck it, we're legalizing this. You know, but like,
Nothing ceases to amaze me nowadays, honestly.
Yeah, you're like
Never
maybe.
know.
Yeah.
literally, it's all on the table.
Don't ask me to predict anything, but I'll accept it
Yeah,
when I see
that's
it.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
But that's exciting for the MDMA therapy, and that's going to be probably next year, maybe even earlier. We already had a guy on a podcast there doing ketamine therapy in Toronto, so that's like right next door.
I want to get him back on too.
Yeah.
It was cut short.
And basically, they administer ketamine in a clinical setting, and they just have
Right.
you talk through your problems, I guess, with the therapist. Yeah.
Don't mind me.
So,
I'm gonna do like the rap drink thing with my microphone.
so like mushroom clinics are gonna be a thing. How fucked up is that? You can go. First, it'll be medically, but let's go 20 years from now. You'll probably go to a recreational spa-like setting, and you just they'll ask you how much is your dosage, what you want. You say I'll take 5 grams, and they're like, okay, we have a room for you, and you just blast off into fucking infinity.
Oh my God.
Like that's gonna be our future if it's directing in that way. I mean, if it becomes
Dude.
legalized medically, eventually recreational,
I will run a hotel called the Heroic Dose or something like that.
off highway,
That
whatever,
would be
whatever.
fun. I'd definitely come.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Even with
Minimum 5 grams.
even with one of our previous guests, Greg Lake, we were talking about the potential of having ayahuasca like a fucking depanneur. Like maybe that might be a reality one day. How crazy is that? Just go pick up a
Wow.
fucking bottle of ayahuasca and go home and just talk to the universe.
It's gonna have to have like a huge label on it. Don't do this when you're surrounded by family. Don't do
Wait.
this if you're feeling like shit that day.
You're right,
you know?
but like you know the pictures on cigarette packs? Like what is the picture gonna be of
It's like a
yeah,
Zen
like
Buddha.
just like you just see a
Like-
person with their head in a bucket. Like,
Zen Buddha and then a bucket.
Yeah.
Zen Buddha bucket, you know? Jeez, but that
I
might
mean,
be
you joke, but like if someone's on SSRIs and they take ayahuasca, they could die.
there is some
And
yeah.
SSRIs are so common these days, just like an antidepressant, anti-anxiety pill.
Yeah.
Sorry. I missed you there. I go.
Oh, I was saying, like you need like huge labels on it. That's not like ayahuasca will never be over the counter, which is
Yeah.
scary to find like online.
That's a
these
good point
bottled-
because there is definitely, well, I mean, with alcohol too, if you take it with certain pharmaceuticals, you'll die on the spot.
Yeah, like
Really?
the chemistry between the two. Is
I don't know if
just
there's actually
no, no.
a specific chemical pill, but I know if someone's on like a bunch of painkillers, and
There's some specific stuff that
Yeah.
fucks with your liver, and it
So-
can be like Tylenol. Like I don't remember. It's like aspirin, like something
Yeah.
obvious.
Aspirin.
Yeah.
so it,
The
I-
blood thinners and
Mm.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's
We should
it.
Google this. None of
Well,
us
this
knows
is
for
this is
sure,
a-
but we're circling
this is
around it.
an intoxicated
Like-
research
We
session.
think-
No, but 100% SSRIs
Reaching
don't
enough.
mix with
Yeah.
ayahuasca.
Reaching deep into our souls, trying to find the answer.
Yeah.
Well, I was-
Don't
maybe,
you mix.
Maybe it's gonna be.
Oh man, so many drugs in my past. I've mixed. Don't mix uppers and downers. While we're on the subject, kids, don't mix uppers and downers.
but don't people? They do that all the time when they party. That's like a common
Red Bull
thing.
and alcohol.
That's-
Don't do
That's
this.
horrible.
It's
do
called a
this.
heart attack for a reason.
Yeah.
It'll kill you
Yeah,
eventually. What won't though?
it could.
But-
Yeah, you're young. You can take it. Have fun.
How odd
Tell
is
me
it
about
though
it.
that
Tweet
our
it.
society might just turn into what we grew up as visualizing as Amsterdam was, and
Yeah.
we're becoming that place that everyone used to go to Amsterdam if they wanted to get fucked up.
Yeah.
At least us when I was growing up, I was too young to travel, but I would remember like, oh, Amsterdam. It would be like this little secret talk about like how they're just fucking everything's legal there,
Yeah.
and now we're becoming that.
Yeah, that's. I feel like Montreal is like the Amsterdam of Canada kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
In a way, if
We're
you think
the-
about.
Us and BC are like the black
Yeah, BC,
sheep.
BC too. Yeah, it's true. But I feel like I don't know, just with that little European influence as well too, and with the.
Yeah, you walk in Old Montreal with mushroom brownies one day. I go to a mushroom brownie cafe, and you're just tripping in Old Montreal. That's gonna be. It might be a resurgence
it's
of Montreal, Old Montreal.
There's it's like silently understood that you can kind of be physical with strippers in Montreal.
Yeah,
like
we're
that's
not.
the mentality we have. We were
Yeah,
just talking
exactly.
about that. So like that's not look, don't touch.
Yeah,
Look, don't touch. It's
Yeah.
like it's everywhere. Everyone repeats it all the time. But it's like Montreal. It's like, okay, you can't touch these certain parts,
Yeah,
but like have fun
yeah, just
Knock
get it
yourself
out of
out.
your system. It's better than keeping it in.
and pay
Yeah.
me more.
You
Yeah.
know?
it's funny because when I traveled, I told people I was from Montreal. They're like, "Oh, you guys are crazy down there." I'm like, I guess
Yeah,
it's normal for us, I guess.
yeah,
You
it's
know?
true.
So we in that sense we have kind of a liberate like a
Yeah, I feel like people are very free-minded as well. Not everyone, of course. Like
More.
like
it seems
they
to be
care
like
a
that.
lot about like I don't know, like spirit. I find spirituality
Hmm.
here and just like fashion, the arts, like everything. you know?
Expression.
Yeah, expression. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
We're a chocolate capital, video game capital, fashion
Mm-hmm. I
capital.
feel like sometimes you travel
Festival
other places,
capital.
like in Montreal, like other places in Canada, and you look around, you kind of feel like, well, I don't know. For me as a Montrealer, like looking at people and everyone kind of looks the same. But here, you come here and it's like very, like expression.
It's cool.
A lot of expression. And yeah.
it's definitely cool. It's a little trip over here.
I feel
Yeah,
like I've
that's
never. It is.
Come to Montreal. You're
Yes.
gonna find.
You don't know? Question mark. Yeah, just.
It's funny. It's funny. It took me drugs to realize that. I'll be honest, because I took LSD with a couple of friends and we just walked. We were supposed to go to a club and we just ended up walking across the fucking downtown, all across East End, and then headed back west. But I remember the appreciation for the Montreal streets that we probably would have just walked by normally. I was just looking at every club, every venue, just like, wow, this is so odd. This is like.
That's like you really you actually looked at it. And
Well, I
you-
noticed
it-
the
it
difference
stayed in
between.
your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas where you would
It's
walk
like
through.
a story as
Yeah.
you were walking down
And
the
it's
street.
like there's like you can go from like club and then like a nice little restaurant, then a club and then you're like a church and then a club. You know, it's like it's so random, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's just a mixture.
And like people outside doing their thing, how they're like talking to each other and everything kind of thing. Yeah.
Flying different languages. Or
Yeah.
Just a bunch of college kids carrying pieces of a robot across the
That's
street
exactly,
on a hill or
that's
something.
exactly what I see. It's exactly the vision I'm getting, thinking about.
And then some street performer on stilts.
Some homeless guy aims the banana at you. This
like,
like super
"No."
famous dude that everyone knows him.
Hollywood, rest in peace, probably. I don't know where you are, bro. But
Now when I
you're
walk
a
down the
staple.
streets and I hear, you know, the whole, like when they say something like crazy, it's actually, I love it. I love it when they say it. I don't know why. I'm just like, fuck you, like you're fucking amazing. Like, I don't know. There's some things that they say. It's just,
Yeah.
like, it's so funny.
That's awesome.
City of characters.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think that has inspired me to, like, while there's still nice weather, I'm just gonna go for like a 6-hour walk around the city. Like I just have that.
It's so
I have that
entertaining.
time tomorrow. I'm just gonna do that. Maybe not tomorrow. Anyway,
Gotta, even in the rain or shine.
I'll mailman it. I'll hope it's a nice day, but like I'll keep.
I'll
doing
join
it
you.
if
We'll do a microdose.
Ooh, let's do a dose.
I'll do a dose.
Not a macro dose, not a micro dose, but let's do 2 microdoses.
I want to turn the spotlight back on you, Chanel.
Okay.
The idea of ayahuasca. What's it saying to you? How does it make you
like
feel?
From,
That was a spotlight
from
sound.
like my little like
just a little bit.
bit of research that I've done on it and just experience that people have told me and like documentaries and stuff. I feel like I would probably like benefit from it a lot. So I feel like it has this way of like showing, like not showing you, but just kind of like putting like what you need to work on like in
the open.
in the
On
open.
displays.
I feel like
yeah.
sometimes I need like I want to see it.
It's for stubborn
you
people.
know.
I find
You don't get it. Drink this. What? What's happening? Oh, I understand now. Thank you.
Yeah.
But maybe I need to drink a few more times.
yes.
Yeah, like that's what I feel like I would get out of it in a way.
I find when people turn into ayahuasca or the interest sparks, it's because it rang a bell inside, like this curiosity that maybe you were avoiding or maybe we just wasn't aware, and now it just kind of surfaces, and then you hear ayahuasca and you hear people's accounts, and it's just like this fire, like 2 light switches that turn on at the same time. Because that's what happened with me, you know. I heard it in 2011 in a podcast and instantly connected. And if I go back to my mindset of 2011, I was just in search of some type of answer.
Did you remember like why you were like, okay, you were in
It
search
was-
of an
yeah,
answer?
there was-
That's why it resonated with you.
You know what? That it really resonated like 7 years later.
Okay.
But in the moment, I noticed there was
Like
something.
yeah, you were curious.
But I didn't
like-
know what that curiosity was or where it was coming from or what it was looking for. I just knew there was a question I need to answer.
I felt like I wanted the reason why I want to do it is like also because of like I see people that did it that I trust their opinion, and they have told me that like this, I don't know, like you should try it. I really feel like, you know, so I feel like that also helps me trust the fact that I want to definitely want to pursue like trying it.
That was a big one for me too.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was like,
you know, it's like this person's changed. Obviously, something's different, and then
Yeah,
you know, and then you talk
exactly.
to them about it, and you're like, oh, ayahuasca.
it's hard to deny, you know, and somebody, I don't know, not everyone's the same, but someone that you trust like actually said that they like that you need to try it. So yeah.
or that it would resonate with you, or
Yeah,
or-
exactly.
Yeah,
It's a bit of an appeal to authority, you know, but like it's also, you could call it like a synchronicity, you know, like you've seen it from different places and different people, and then like more and more people in your circle are like, hey, this is a thing, and like I feel like that it's directly responsible for some benefit.
I'm
So it's
kind
like,
of scared to be honest. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like yay.
who isn't?
I want to
yeah.
take this.
That-
like that's not the joy of like of it. I'm not like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do it. You know, because I'm actually kind of scared because I'm like,
Yeah.
shit,
You know,
what's gonna pop
it's
up?
it's
you
a
know?
skydiving excitement. It's
like-
like
you know that
scary, but
I don't know if I want to see maybe what a you know,
that
type
fear
of
though
thing.
is just like how much. I'm not gonna say you need it, but like that fear is gonna show how good the experience will become.
Oh yeah,
You know,
okay.
I find-
feel like I don't understand what you're saying, but I feel like I will.
Yes,
Like I just,
it's one of those
you
things
know?
that like I noticed
Yeah.
the more afraid I am of ceremonies, the more I needed it
Okay.
because there's like the hiding
I'm
is like
definitely really like I'm definitely really anxious about it, but I know like I said, like you said, like, you had this little thing that went off in you that sparked that curiosity. I just have a feeling, my instincts telling me that I would do good.
and
I didn't
that's
have
the
that.
Yeah.
no.
I didn't have that at all.
No, you were just kind of like
Let's
a
see
little
what this
bit
is.
experimental kind of thing. or
Like-
no?
I think first times hearing about it, Unconsciously, I'm sure I was just like, I'm gonna try that eventually.
Okay.
That was probably how I felt, but I didn't consciously be like, oh, what is this? I need to explore. Like there was no bell
Okay,
or no
okay.
attraction
Yeah.
or something. And then it started getting kind of pushed into my life
Okay.
and accessible. And I was like having to actively say no now.
Okay.
And it was like, I was like, you know, you want to do, you know, you're gonna do. Like, there's this clear truth in the back of my head going like, you know, you're gonna try it at least twice. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
Why wait? So that was my kind of.
yeah.
I didn't have like a pull or
Yeah.
something, and I still don't now. I've only done it once, but it was like it's almost like it's like a teacher that like is learning how to teach me, or I'm learning how to learn from it. Like it's
Yeah.
there's a warm up. I feel like I feel like the first time was ambiguous, was like hard to.
Yeah, it wasn't that like strong pull towards it. It just happened, like kind of like showed itself more into your, and then you just tried
Yeah,
it.
it was yeah. It was
yeah.
there was no reason anymore to say no. There wasn't a strong yes. And now having done it, like I said before, it's the ceremony that I really am waiting for and
The
wanting to go
environment.
back to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
can't wait to.
the
I
practices.
can't wait to see that as well.
It's
because-
honestly the medicine is like 5% of it. The ayahuasca. It's the environment you're
Yeah.
in is just this group where we create this space where
and
we're
I feel like that's like my type of vibe. Like I
Yeah.
really
Your
like to
jam.
be like just zen and just I don't know connected, and
Oh, that's it.
another thing that I'm also looking forward to.
Hmm.
Definitely. Yeah.
and that's it. When you're in that group, it's just that connective mentality. We're all in it. We're all in the same radio station, so you feel the room.
It's like surrendering yourself to this
Yeah.
experience kind
In
of
stages.
thing. Yeah. Okay.
in
it's
stages. Yeah, there's like new barrier. Anyway, I don't feel like breaking down the process. I like what you said before. Where you're like, I feel like I don't get it, but like I will see it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's they're
Yeah, because he said this thing. It was like kind of like almost like a riddle, like the way that you said it. I was like, you know what? It sounds beautiful, but I need to, you know.
But that's it.
Need to
Like the
see it, yeah.
psychedelics, like you could only illustrate it in funny ways and put your words in
Exactly.
specific ways to kind of glimpse into what it's talking about. But until you experience it, you don't really know what the fuck's
but
going
like,
on.
it makes me more eager to see
Yeah,
what
it's
you mean.
it's look, I've done it about 15 ceremonies, and I'll tell you this: it feels like a fucking school. Like it feels like the first time I drank it, it felt like I was just given the syllabus. And the syllabus was my life that this is how it plays out and this is what I could work on. And every time I've been back, it was always like, we're going to continue where we left off. It's like I'm literally following the
Oh,
curriculum.
really?
It's
Wow.
weird. And I don't know if I've completed the task, but it keeps going and I'm just like wandering on with it. But then sometimes
I
Like
see it
since the
differently.
last time, since kind of like, okay, you went through that. And since the last time that you've been here, let's have a little replay about that, like
Yeah.
kind of that.
you know,
no?
what? I never broke down from the last time, but broke down the last experience. But now I feel like it's like maybe we're like in a review stage. Like we did we did grade 1. We're gonna review it, and then
Okay.
maybe I don't know what's next. But because it's kind of like little check marks. Okay, do this again. You were doing this. Okay, let's just focus on these kind of things. This was benefiting you. This you kind of veered off in a negative path. Let's go back here, and it's way easier to go back to. Whereas before it was like changing one small thing, and then that's gonna have a ripple effect. So now I'm kind of living in the product of all those years and ceremonies that led to this
Momentum.
moment. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm just looking at the momentum. So maybe that's like grade 1, and then I'm gonna go back, and ayahuasca's gonna just slap me 7 times.
Yeah, but that
I don't know.
But do you feel like I have a question for you? Like I have a
Shoot,
question.
let's do it.
Do you feel like it left you like if you picture your life without it from when you started? If you look into the future at you now without taking it,
From
do you
back
feel,
then.
do
Yeah.
you feel like you would be like where you are now, or do you feel like you wouldn't be where you are now? Like
Had I not
Yeah.
taken the medicine,
do you feel like it influenced your decisions, like that you've made moving forward, kind of?
I would
thing?
say 100%.
Yes, and in a positive way.
Yeah. The Nathaniel from back then, we'll go back to 20. I had my first mushroom trip at 2011. So we'll just go back to that time year before
Okay.
then. I was I had a lot of pain.
Yeah.
A lot of pain about acceptance, about my value, my worth. I felt worthless. No matter what anyone would say,
Yeah.
it's what I felt in the deep inside. Don't know where that started from, but in response, I acted out weird and anger and aggression, and got into fights, got into altercations with the police, all stupidities, all for validation, funnily enough. So I think the plant medicine kind of just steered me into that direction of self-love and put the lens on what's hurting and fix what's hurting.
Yeah,
you know?
that sounds like amazing, because I feel like, obviously, no, I'm not getting into fights with police or anything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not at that point, but I definitely feel like there's like some things that I want to like I don't know, trauma and stuff like that.
There's
I feel
so much
that I can't, like, yes, I'm getting there, you know, I'm definitely on the path towards healing. But I feel like it's going to take more than just like kind of, you know, I don't know. I need to see.
I think a lot of people feel that way. Like some people, I'm not super comfortable backing this way of talking up, but like, people say, let's say like ayahuasca is like 20 years of therapy in two nights kind of thing. Like they give this fast forwarding kind of thing. And I kind of like knee jerk. I will agree with it, but there's still like
like not based on any kind of science, like anything.
How do you fucking
but
measure
just,
that?
not based on that, but like
the results speak for themselves. Yeah. There's something to it, but it's like there's a whiplash. There's integration. Like it's a fast forward button, but you pay for it.
Here's the thing, though. It's so
you pay. That's it.
You can go during.
It's not comfortable.
No.
You know, there's a reason there's an anxiety, because you know you're going to go through like the washing machine a little bit. But you know you maybe more than most people really understand the benefit at the end, at the other side.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
That's like before I wasn't even really actually. I heard about it. I knew that maybe I wanted to try it, but going through what I went through, I feel like let's do it.
I was gonna ask.
Let's fucking do it.
Sweet. Well, I mean, look, the worst case scenario during your trip, you'd be like, "Fuck that! I beat cancer. Bring it on, ayahuasca."
That's like
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I've already cheated death.
Like let's heal. Like let's
but that's
try
the mindset
everything
you're in.
and let's do, like, you know.
That's such a beautiful intention to go in with, or not even intention, just state of being. Just like we're healing right now.
Don't worry. Like if you want to do something, like just do it. Like don't like put yourself in that.
Your surrender muscle is strong.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I just realized that, like, duh.
Like,
of course,
100%. You know, that's. And you know what? I don't know where I was going with that, but.
It's the weed. How do you feel, man?
I feel great.
Yeah,
okay. I mean, I'm holding it together.
Before it was a little bit, like, I feel as it wears off, it's a little better, no?
Well, it's like the alcohol wear it off and then the weed kicked in. So it's like the system's kind of calibrating. So it works, but it's interesting.
More.
Anicha, bro. But what I was saying is the
mixture.
the willingness to receive.
Willingness.
The willingness to receive the lessons and the information given to you during an ayahuasca ceremony is up to you. So if you're going in with like this, like literally like the rib cage is open, the heart is out, you're gonna receive so much from that experience when you go, versus someone who's kind of like locked in but still curious. There's like they have to
okay, so I'll keep that in mind, because I think I would have, if you didn't tell me that, I would have probably went in the other way for sure. I would have been a little bit protective of
I mean
myself.
it's a new environment, it's a substance, you know, but I'm telling you, it's like I can relate to massages. Like if I get a really tight muscle, I can't even get to the area. I have to break down what's around it. So for ayahuasca, might have to break down years of retention, and that might take 7 ceremonies before you actually get even close to the heart or in the core and what's really going on. So like right now you're in this state of mind where it's like you surrendered so much, you've worked on so much. I'm curious to see. We're gonna talk right after your experience, but I'm curious to see what you receive from it.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
definitely.
I remember my first ceremony was very. First session was very. I did 2 nights. The first night was very psychological.
So you do it like two
ceremonies.
in a row? Okay.
Depends. They have ones, but the one you'll probably go to is 2 nights. And I think it's better to integrate the experience.
Did you see my little smirk? Like,
yeah.
I was like,
no, because sometimes after day 1, there's unsettled business or something that you weren't clear on, and then the second night it just will pave the way for when you go back home. But so my first night when I went, it was just very cerebral, very like what's going on in your brain. Like ayahuasca was like understanding me. And then so I worked through like little traumas that I guess was exposed to me. And then the second night was I was sober as day. Like I could have went for a drive, but it was all physical. Like I was
like
purging.
you let it out
Yeah,
already, and this was kind of just.
That's it. It's just like this. Well, for me, what I got was it was separating mind and body. So day 1 was clean up mind. Day 2, clean up body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was just purging nonstop, and it was like ayahuasca was like looking and this shit's disgusting. Let that out.
Like if you're not getting past a certain point, then it like brings something.
Yeah.
Brings something up. My hand motions.
That's all good.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. So I didn't even get close to what ayahuasca was talking about. I had to clean up diet, I had to clean up mind, and then when I went back, it was a different experience. But I think what ayahuasca was telling me was that before we get to the work, we gotta do some reps here. I'm not giving you the answers without you giving me halfway. So, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds. I can't wait to try it, but
It's-
I'm also, like I said, a little scared.
Embrace that fear. I'm telling you, it's gonna keep you humble.
Okay.
When you go in without fear, you're going in. Oh, I got this. It's ayahuasca. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, fuck it. Let's see what you
A
got.
confident person.
What's the point, right?
I have had that once because the 15, you can attain some knowledge and some wisdom. I went in once. I'm like, I think it was the summer I went with you. Yeah, it was when I went with you. Okay, I went in like, I'm here for Sammy. I'm all here for Sammy. You know,
I
I'm just
remember
like
you
this
telling
big
me
boy.
about
This
yeah.
big boy. Like I came for Sammy. I was here 2 weeks ago, but now I'm here for Sammy. And fucking ayahuasca on the second night, I think, or maybe the first. I don't remember. Just fucking bombarded me with all these fears that I wasn't thinking about, and I was
Yeah.
I left Sammy at one point.
You went as a chaperone, but really you
Like, oh
got
yeah,
fucked
you're
up.
just here for someone else. So what about this about yourself? You think you
Yeah.
got it together? And,
He came as like a
That's
Sherpa.
actually
Like, he
really,
thought-
that's
yeah.
actually really fun.
and that's so humbling, you know. It was fucking hard, but it was humbling. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you're right. Okay,
Like you don't get what you want, you get what you need. kind of
yes,
thing.
and
Yeah.
the illusion of you got this is a big one. Like we think we got a lot of things in life, like you know.
Yeah.
But with these realms, it's you're the child, and you're listening to the mother plant.
Wow.
I always see it as I was gonna talk here, like I just forgot I'm on a podcast. So anyway,
Looks comfortable.
yes.
But
I see it as like a frequency that's like thick with information, and we're just picking up what we can understand. So that's why it ends up looking like a school, because if you can't get it, you won't get it, and then so it just really meets you where you are, no matter
Okay.
where you are, because it's just like a whoosh. And like I don't know, I compare it to shrooms a lot because there's a download, and the download with shrooms is overwhelming. The download with ayahuasca is
bearable,
even
like
when-
a little bit more.
yeah,
warm.
even when it's
Oh, well, I
overwhelming, it's
tried
kind.
shrooms and-
Yeah, it's
It's warm though. It's like a hug. I find it's like mushrooms kind of throws you into the
Oh,
download.
definitely. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca is like holding the baby like this
yeah, it's
through the whole fucking
even
thing.
when it's overwhelming, it's kind. It's
That's
it's they call it mother because it feels that way.
Mhm, yeah, like
It's-
that's the way that you described it. It's kind of like
Yeah, you know, I heard the mother term for so long, and I never really felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, probably like ceremony like 5 or something, I felt the mother. I'm like, okay, this is mother plant.
Really,
Like, this is the name, and it was just a hug, man. I just remember like this warm hug.
I got it the whole time.
Mm.
I got it the whole time. It was
like
just
from the beginning.
yeah. I'm surprised to hear you say that because
Yeah,
it's just like I keep saying. It's like this. It's a psychedelic. It's blah, 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 blah sometimes, you know. But it's
Yeah, like it's really
but even in those moments, so especially but in all the moments, it's like warm and careful and loving.
Like look at this, but like,
Yeah.
I know that you don't. It's hard, so I'm gonna give you a hug at the same time.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like
there's-
it's like let's look at this together.
it's hard to.
yeah.
It's literally that.
Yes.
Let's look at this together. Okay, and then you're like, "Ugh," and then it's right there with
It's
you.
like,
So
oh, God.
it helps you. It's fuck, man. I want to cry just talking about ayahuasca because like the fucking whatever intelligence is living through it or behind it, because you're having a communication with something. The plant, obviously, but maybe something is conscious behind the plant, and you're both meeting in the same realm. But whoever that is or whatever that is doesn't matter. But whatever it is just what a fucking blessing that we have, like the opportunity to just talk to something outside of this realm and to get guidance from.
Yeah,
You know,
and that it
it's-
works for like
Yeah.
us, you know.
And
like,
how many millions it helped, you know?
yeah,
And
definitely.
That's why we started the podcast.
as long as
Yeah.
it's done in the right way and
With
everything,
respect.
then with respect, that's it.
that's it. And when you give it the respect, when you offer it the respect, and in like that ceremonial setting, it's going to return that kind of respect back to you. I can't imagine doing ayahuasca at like a fucking house party, and
Oh no.
I can't imagine that. but people do that, so I don't know. But
Look, there's certain people that actually do that.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I've just come to terms with the fact that if it's physically possible, humans are doing it somewhere.
That is
That's
so true. Honestly.
It really isn't it?
That's why you
Yeah.
can't really like. You can't say everyone should try it.
Yeah,
but,
but it's
you know,
being done. It's been
exactly.
done.
and you know what?
Unfortunately, sometimes.
With the rape, when I serve it, I do rape is the Amazonian tobacco that they serve. They shoot it up the nose, and apparently it makes you feel very grounded and meditated, and very relaxed and very centered. It's a beautiful substance.
Yeah, rape.
Rape, yeah, it's like a Amazonian tobacco. And it's
Happy?
Hape,
in some
rape,
regions?
yeah.
I don't know.
It's basically shot up the nose by someone who serves it to
Do
you.
they do they? Oh wow. Do they do that like here in or no? No, they don't.
They did it the ceremony, then they stopped because I think
Something.
no, they were just people were using it too much,
Okay,
and they wanted
yeah.
to make it about ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have rape if you're interested after. We can talk about it. But where was I going with that?
That stuff's legal.
That stuff's totally legal.
Okay.
It's just tobacco,
What
pretty much.
was the train of thought from when I started that?
What were we talking about? Ayahuasca and at house parties.
Yes, so
Don't recommend.
So with rape or
Hard
hape,
pass.
when I do the ritual of administering it to someone, I do a whole process. Like I blow in different areas of the body, and I do like a little thing, and it's like a 1 minute ritual on my end, and honestly, doesn't mean anything. It's just at the surface, it's just me just doing weird shit, and then I give
Feels
it.
good.
Yeah, but you know what I'm doing now is I'm adding so much intention and love to it. It's like the meta meditation. Just, and you know what? Had I just blown it up your nose, one shot, and then let's just laugh and see how you're doing, maybe it might not have the same effect as we sit down together in like a meditation for 5 minutes. We talk, and then we set it up slowly, and then I have you close your eyes and we do the process. You're building up this respect.
Yeah.
This respect to the experience, but the respect is not even for the experience; it's for yourself.
And also just like the meditation, I guess, even like low, like fixes certain levels, like
I
yeah,
think it
your
does.
body
100%.
as well.
It
Like,
kind
I
of-
feel like starting off from that point, it would probably
100. That's a good
yeah,
point.
Yeah, like
Like
it
that
would
stop,
it
that
would,
take
like,
that breath.
Take better, you know, like
It puts you on that frequency. It's
yeah.
like you might be on like that fast-paced, rushing mentality, and then you come, you sit.
That's a
breathe.
really good point, actually. Like I'm remembering now, like back in the day, other drug experiences. I was like, it was like I would liken it to skydiving. Like you, I've gone skydiving and I was scared shitless, and I closed my eyes and just like fell out, and I couldn't jump. Like I was frozen scared, but I just kind of pushed myself out.
yeah.
And that's what I do with the drug is like you just swallow it and it's like, oh, I bought the ticket, I'm gone. Like
yeah, but if you prepared yourself, like kind
Yeah.
of thing.
With
and
rape
it's like
and ayahuasca,
breathing and
I don't
stuff
do
like
that.
That's kind of like, you know, it's like no matter, well, almost everyone will get the same effect from that, right? If you're breathing and if you're like
Yes.
lowering your, you know.
100%.
and then, I feel
Even like
that's-
at the physiological level, if people don't even notice like the psychological
Yeah.
or spiritual change, just at the physiology, you're just gonna relax your hormones, and everything is gonna calm down for a second. You know?
I'm sorry, I just realized that we're all drunk and high.
oh my God.
Fucking love it.
Can we even show this on YouTube?
Well, fuck it, come for us.
Come for it, yeah. Well, they might just take it down. Maybe if they like black out when we smoke weed or something.
No, we're whatever.
know.
We'll see what
You
happens.
think?
It's chamomile.
It's-
It's non-alcoholic wine and chamomile.
We have a disclaimer,
Fucking-
Sammy. We have a disclaimer. It's all for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's talk about drugs.
But yeah, I mean,
50th episode. What's up?
yeah, what's up? I hope we can still do a party here.
We're gonna name it Chanel number 50
Number 50.
because I'm a genius. Because it's so fun.
That's actually
Like the
yeah.
Chanel number
Instead
50.
of 5.
We're gonna get sued.
It'll be the N in the little circle. Imagine they sue us. That'd be so weird. What do you want from us?
Yeah, well, you want? I'll give you Buddha's head there. Fuck, take it. Sacrifice Buddha.
Yeah.
We've talked about that too much. We have to like turn the camera at some point and show everybody. Buddha. It's Buddha. Google it.
You spoke about it before.
Yeah, actually, like yesterday.
It came up.
This is kind of a weird moment because we've just blended 4 episodes in 2 days. I just feel like it's one big episode.
Yeah.
This one?
Well, I mean, just in general, because we had so many episodes the past few days.
Oh,
It's-
sure.
it's
Yeah. You,
I'm
that's
actually
good,
really
though.
glad. But yeah, like I feel at home here. So now I'm like a little tipsy and a little high.
Well,
and I'm
like,
just like,
this is like the best way to conclude
used to this.
conclude our week because like this is Chanel's here and we're just chilling out and it's like a fucking, it's
Yeah,
like,
it feels very. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
having me. I
I've
had
been looking
such a
forward
good
to it.
time.
hell
Are we
yeah.
like? Are we wrapping
I
up?
would continue.
I don't
want
want to. Yeah. Do you have to do something? Do we have a time constraint?
Well, actually, it depends on the time. What time is that?
If we can keep going, I would love it, but
Okay, we could go for a
4:43.
little longer.
hell yeah.
4:43. Yeah. Well, there's always the natural lull. There's always the end. That's it. Like, we'll feel it. Because we've been, it's an hour 26 so far, or maybe a little extra. I started the time.
We're
late.
continuing.
It actually went by so fast. Like sometimes I was like, oh, 1 hour and a half. I still have a little bit to say after that, you know?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
actually flows.
That's
you
why
know?
we have like this like squiggly hour and a half. It's like it never really hits an hour and a half. It usually goes way past, but it's like it's there. It's a little flag that we can just go through or stop at.
Yeah, exactly.
the options
that's,
there.
That's like the way that you like it. Like 1 hour and a half. That's
I don't think it's not for us. It's it's
No.
more of a viewer idea.
Yeah,
like we just want to
exactly.
be consistent and not
yeah,
bombard
that's
someone
it.
with
Like I
more
feel
content.
like that's very
Well,
smart.
you
to
know
be
how it started.
consistent.
Yeah,
That's very important. Yeah.
Or like they
Tell
get
us in the comments.
you know, it started because we were renting space at a studio to begin with, and
Yeah.
we had hour slots, and we're like, okay, an hour is too, because we felt like the pace picks up at like 50 minutes in or 40 minutes in, we start getting in this flow state. So
Yeah.
we did an hour and a half, but that was just because of our limitations there. Now we're here, we can literally do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, definitely. Like looks like I feel like it would be a lot different if I was in like a fancy studio or whatever. Like I feel like this is really nice.
The other place was a similar jive.
Yeah,
Just
it
less
had that
cool,
vibe.
less
Okay.
decorated.
It was just like
Yeah.
it was a round
Little more
table
cramped.
vibe. Like it felt like the same kind of feeling here, but here is more of our expression.
But don't you feel
Oh, yeah.
better? Like
100%.
100%.
100%.
I like it.
Yeah. This is
Definitely
amazing.
feel very comfortable.
What I find adorable though is when I
Especially
look at
with
it.
lamp.
Hell yeah, it's emitting those ions everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently.
we got one here.
I don't know if it
feels
actually
right.
does, but
Oh
it-
yeah,
It feels right.
does
but
feel right.
it has this like obvious Joe Rogan like spirit, and I love seeing that in like in third person. I'm in it. I'm enjoying it. It's vibing. I see the decisions behind everything, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I see it evolving also. Like we have some episodes that are full purple light. And
Yeah.
it's like we enjoyed
see
it,
shit.
but the video is like suffers
but
for it.
you
Yeah.
loved it. Yeah.
We loved it. I
And
loved
every
it.
step of the way.
Yeah, I was torn. I was like, no, it doesn't look good, but it fucking feels
Yeah, I like it.
amazing. Can we do it now? No, let's not touch that. That's like probably a like
But
super
you
hot.
could still see it, right? A
Oh
little
yeah,
bit?
it still has the vibe, but like we were going so dark that the video didn't even pick it up. So
Okay, you
we're
were
just like dark faces
but,
here.
But you felt that's something
That-
that you
that
felt.
vortex.
Like that.
It's cool. Like this purple light. It's like a little party zone.
Yeah,
Yeah. It definitely gives me like free spirit vibes. Like
Would you
do your
add
own
anything?
thing. That's the car kind of reminds me like get out, like go
travel, explore.
you
Yes.
know, and then just like free spirits, you know, coming out, do your thing.
I love that.
You know, like I don't know. That's like what I think, like outside the box. You know,
Hell yeah.
don't stop thinking about like mystery and things like that.
You're describing my mindset.
Yeah, definitely, I get it.
You know,
I like that.
It's funny that this is like fingerprint of yours in a way. Like you like whether you realize it or not. Like you made this, so it's like it's a simulation of your brain in a way. in
it's
a-
like the inside is dripping outside.
yeah,
you know?
like the choices reveal
Yeah,
you.
well, that's good. That like when you look at it, you could kind of tell the story about like what your not beliefs are.
But you
but
get a
just, like,
picture.
what's
Yeah.
going on in that head of yours? You know.
I'm trying to maybe this is me trying to figure it out. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly, but that's you see that it's coming from a place of like
Curiosity.
curiosity and like adventure.
Yeah,
and, you know.
and Greg Miller.
and Greg
yeah,
Miller.
this one is beautiful.
Yeah, shout out
It's
to Greg
us.
Miller for
I
like
miss
the
that guy,
Greg
man. We
Miller.
gotta talk
I
to
don't know
him.
you, but
yeah, he drew it. Yeah,
you have some good stuff over here.
fucking phenomenal.
Really
You know,
nice.
but that was during ceremony once. At the time, my roommate was living here, and I love him to death. Great guy, but I think it was just.
But
Don't you hate
I know
that?
where
There's a butt in there. And if he's listening, I love you, Ariel. It's not a negative. I love you to death. But it just like when you share space with someone, there's like it won't always jive. And I started feeling like my environment was narrowing down from this apartment to just my bedroom, and I felt suffocated and like
I felt
everything.
that way.
Yeah, and everything was kind of chaotic. So one ayahuasca ceremony made me see that your environment is your psychological state manifesting in front of you. So I just felt cluttered and all this stuff. And it was just because that's my mental state, was reflecting back and forth with the environment. And that was the year he moved out, actually. And then I just literally just liberated myself by clearing out the space. And it's nothing to do with him per se. It was just the space.
It's just the accumulation of both people. Like, definitely if you could live by yourself, it's nice, you know? Like, it's all about you. You know, it's all about you. You do what you want with your space. You have it messy, okay. You have it clean. Like, but if there's two people there, it's like
it's already
two
changed.
different
You're already
opinions right away.
You're already filtering yourself. Like you're being yourself, but you also know that there's someone there, so you can't fully do what you want to do. Like now, I like
so I'll let you like be yourself.
Yeah, or walk around the house naked.
That's part of
that's
being
also
yourself.
the best.
You know, like that's like the biggest thing. As soon as he left, I'm like, what is this?
You need more
Yeah,
mirrors.
like wetter clothes.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh, I was wearing this to protect myself from someone else. Okay. Or to not make him feel weird. But yeah, but that's one of the benefits. But creating my space, I didn't realize the value in creating your space until I was able to create my space.
Yeah.
But there's like a relationship with your space and your psychological state. It's like, this is my environment. This is how I want it to look. And this is, by it looking this way, I'll feel this way. And it's like a mirror.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I feel like if you, what was I going to say? Oh my God. I'm sorry. No, I was going to say like, if your space is clean and everything is clean, like it feels like a clean slate to like, you know, like,
well, clean, your mind is kind of
the,
washed, you know, it's not all over
like
the place.
if your life is cluttered, then technically like you're cluttered, but like kind of thing, like your mind won't.
You are. Yeah, that's my appeal to minimalism. Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like unconsciously, if there's stuff, I have stuff. I'm cluttery, but like I can handle a level.
Yeah, me
because
too.
it's
I
useful.
I have a lot of stuff that mean a lot to me that I can't separate. Like
Some of it's visual. Whoa, nice catch.
Oh
The
my
dream
God, guys.
almost happened,
We just broke the matrix, guys.
but we shifted it.
I knew it, guys.
made
I
your-
knew it.
Chanel,
I
you
told
made
you,
your-
I
You're the
know
oracle.
myself, I know. It's me, the chosen one.
You're the Oracle and Neo.
Fuck.
But just to
My heart
actually
skipped a beat.
say, actually, I don't want to like, but a lot of my dreams, a lot of them, like not like saying like I'm like weird or like I don't know, I have like a gift.
Just
or
say you're the
something.
Oracle. It's fine.
But I do feel like a lot of my dreams sometimes come true in a way.
Sometimes I feel like
they
they're
manifest
messages.
themselves in
Yeah.
different ways. So when I knew, like when I seen that this morning, I was like, okay, like just watch out.
Who the fuck knows, man? Maybe we are tapping into something in dreams. I don't know. After
Yeah.
our simulation talk, anything's on
I have
the
the
table
same
for me.
mentality. I'm like, life's weird. Just lean into it.
Yeah.
If it's what you're experiencing, don't worry if it's real or not. Nothing's sure. There's just a bunch of
Yeah.
people agreeing on one thing out there.
Yeah, definitely. That's
And
the
then
way
you're
I
having
look
your
at it.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah,
know,
me too.
I had a dream once back in CEGEP that I'm like,
A prophetic dream?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly. And it actually turned out exactly the way it was.
Oh.
I had a dream
Let's go.
randomly that my teacher came to class with a fucking puppy or like a dog. And I'm like,
Oh, you told me about that.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I woke up, I'm like, that's so weird. Like, that teacher, she's like, no, it was just, the whole scenario was so weird. Like, she came to class, she put her bag on the table, and the dog came out of the bag. So I'm like, okay, that's fucking weird. I go to school that day, and I keep thinking about it. I'm like, maybe the teacher has a dog. Like, that'll be the funniest thing if that actually happened. First class I go to, I forgot her name, but she came in, bag on the table, dog came out of the bag.
No.
And I like threw my books. What the fuck? Well, I didn't actually throw my
Yeah.
books, but in my mind I did. I'm like, what is reality? And what the fuck was that? You know, how did
Yeah.
I put that together? Like, what are the odds of that if you want to go by statistics?
That's crazy.
You can't even calculate. That's like
It's almost
winning
like,
the lottery
you know,
seven
some people,
times.
They say if you believe in something enough, it like comes true kind of thing almost. Like, I don't know. I feel like definitely like a lot of like insecurities of mine or whatever in the past, let's say of a situation, like they would come up in my like in my dreams, you know?
yeah.
They would manifest themselves in a weird way. Maybe it might be a scary dream of some sort, me fighting someone that I would like literally never, you know, like,
Yeah.
and then it kind of like forces you to like focus on that situation. Well, it doesn't come true, but it kind of like points you like also in that
Yeah,
way. Don't you find?
It's like a.
Like,
it
I don't know,
The
for
dream,
me,
the visuals
personally.
sometimes are
Yeah,
like sideways.
it's like I'll be dreaming about something for like 4 nights in a row, let's say, or in different ways or something. And it's like, you're thinking about that because maybe something you're not okay. Like you need to get over something, or you need to, you know, forget
the
about
emotion,
it a little bit.
Like the setting changes, but the emotions.
Yeah,
the same.
like you have to like
I've
let
had
it
that.
take, like as time goes on, like it takes less space in your brain, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah,
I think I haven't kept up with the research, but I used to care a lot about lucid dreaming, and I'm pretty sure that's pretty much how dreams work.
Yeah.
Like you have an ambition, and like your brain is just good at saving it and being like, you want to do this, you have to do this, and if you don't, then it's gonna dream it out. It's just gonna be
it's
like
gonna
bleh.
process it there.
Yeah.
So weird in that way, I swear.
But then how do you explain that dream that I had with the dog?
That is just
Who knows?
I don't know. That's definitely, like you said, like
Maybe
very rare that it
Yeah.
I can
actually
explain
happened.
anything. I have a gift.
But you could explain. No, but you can explain it. But it's still there's like an explanation that you would have to avoid to explain it through the lens of science, for example, or just probability. But,
yeah, like
but
maybe you overheard something. It's unconscious
or maybe
information.
she cued that she was
director-
bringing her dog in the class before, which she hasn't. But I could say that could be an explanation, you know.
Yeah, there's. You could wish
Or
it
it's
away
just
with
like a
words.
like
Or-
then, or you
or-
have a gift somehow.
Or let's go down the fun
we
lane.
all do maybe.
We
yeah.
can go down the fun lane. Maybe we were on the same frequency for that moment. Like, vroom, vroom.
Or
Yeah,
time's not linear.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I really hope that I really want to know one day if that's all the things like that I feel like that's the only explanation are true.
Yeah,
Don't
we
you
all
wi-
feel that
don't
way.
you wish to
we all
live in
feel
a
that
time?
way.
I feel
Everyone feels that way. You know, you feel that way.
Yeah.
We all want the magic.
I wanted to be like, I don't know. I guess that's the magic to it though.
Do you-
right? It's
do you
just
guys-
like, that's it. Like,
Yeah, you know,
some
no
things
absolutes.
We'll never know. Like,
You know, the
it's
best way to
crazy.
approach is no absolutes.
Yeah.
You know, like play with the idea that that's a possibility that whatever you're experiencing might actually be true.
It's
Fucking play
definitely
with it.
because of this reason that I think it would be. I hope that I hope that that's actually the outcome of it. I really.
What if
do.
he made that
If
happen
they have
with
some
his dream?
bullshit other excuse, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's it.
What if you dreamt it and that's why it happened? What if it's not the other way around?
Yeah. That's
She just
it.
like woke up in the morning. Oh, I got to take my dog to school. And she
Something's
just picks up her
telling
dog.
me.
I just no idea why, and I'm just like, take your dog to school.
Or it's like no. What if it's like
Or I
your
just created-
consciousness hopped into the version of that universe that's where that's happening?
In the
Oh my
multiverse,
God.
Yeah.
and that's what I paid attention to.
There's many different things. Oh wow, that's what you.
I watched too much Rick and Morty,
I
guys.
don't know.
Rick and Morty.
I think I need to stop.
I don't know.
It's awesome.
But that's a concept. Like when you scale up from quantum physics, it's obviously like pseudo nonsense that is hard to prove, but it's really fun to think about. Like we're getting at, and like maybe come on, guys, maybe. But it's
Yeah.
like
I want to think that this is related to something very special. You know.
and like having like something that reacts to feeling. Essentially, that's what we're asking
There's
for.
definitely
we want our
like
feelings
little
to.
clues in different things, like for example, dreaming. Like
Yeah, which
like
is
if
so
you
visceral.
Think, if you think about something a lot, some chances are maybe it will come up in your dream somehow. You know.
And I've heard of people having near-death or complete like dying in their dreams, and it's
Yeah.
very cathartic, and they're like a different person after.
Yes.
You know, there's power in dreams.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious.
I had a dream like that, kind of. Yeah, that was actually pretty crazy.
Tell me about it.
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Unless
you
it's
want
too
to hear about my
personal.
dream?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I had watched this documentary on Netflix. It's called Haunted. Did you see it?
No, but I know of it.
Okay, well, anyways,
Oh.
it's like I don't know if those stories are true, but they were
right,
talking
yeah.
about like
Never know.
Yeah, you never know, but let's say they are. Like anyways. So I was watching that and I don't know, I just had like nightmare after, like just one. I was actually a little bit cuz like it's like these people are saying their experiences are real, you know?
Yeah.
And anyways, then I had like a bad dream, like maybe 2 days after, and it was of someone like okay, so we were on the street. It was dark. It was me and my friend Sabrina. We were walking down the street. There was no one on the street. It must have been like really late in the night, like maybe like I don't know 4 a.m. or something like that. Literally no one on the street, but it was dark.
Unsolved mystery style.
Yeah.
Well, did you know you were dreaming, or were you like in it? Okay,
no.
okay.
I was completely in it. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
so this was real to you at the moment.
yeah, it really,
Yeah.
really was. Like it was not like, oh, I wasn't able to influence my dream in that way. Like which sometimes if you're not, I don't know. Like there's a
Kind of
sometimes-
navigated a little bit.
Sometimes you're still there.
Yeah.
You could kind of, But anyways, in this one, it was completely. And we were walking up the street, and I looked behind me, and I seen there was a guy, like an older gentleman, an older man, and he
Smoking
was
a
like,
pipe.
he was coming out of the car, and I noticed him, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I don't know. I just got like a weird vibe from it. And then after like my friend, she was like going into a store, and he like ran up behind me. He ran and I started running away. And my friend was trying to come out of like the door, where the door was, but he was holding the door like for her to stay in. Then he ran like after me, and like I couldn't move and I couldn't scream, and he was just coming towards me. And then after like when he like, that's when I like woke up. Actually,
Jeez.
that was actually the most scary dream I ever had.
Getting chased.
Yeah.
And getting caught.
That's it. Like getting like, and the worst part about it is not being able to react. Like not being able to react to anything, because you feel like you're screaming. You feel like, but you just can't.
Yeah, you can't
know?
move.
Yeah.
Your punches are like super weak.
But
like,
I was scared because I think it was because I watched those documentaries before. It kind of like scared me a little bit, and then that happened. I was like, oh my god, nightmares.
There's something there for sure.
Yeah.
I had a dream once
Getting caught.
where I died, but usually from what you hear is you wake up when you die, but I didn't wake up. I went into the afterlife. It was fucked up. Basically, I was just chilling with my ex and her father, and we were just driving on the highway, and I just see he's just talking about like how he heard a news report about an asteroid hitting Earth like in a few weeks, and we're all laughing about it. Yeah, an asteroid. We're all laughing about it like a few weeks, and then we look up and the asteroid fucking landed after we were laughing and just blew everything. And I remember the feeling of getting blown back by the wind of the flame.
Like you felt it.
Yeah, like I got knocked out of my body, and then I was just like I woke up in the dream like after getting knocked out of my body, and I was in like a fucking lineup at a cafeteria. And they're like, okay, you're in the afterlife. Take this food, continue. And they're just like serving us. So like, get in line, keep going. You'll find your next destination. Just go. And I was just like following everyone in this line.
Oh my god,
That was a weird dream.
That's actually kind of like scary, like
Is that what it's like?
reality, you know?
Is that what it's like when you die? Oh fuck, I'm in
Like,
the line
now
again.
I'm back here again.
And they're just serving you fucking grits and stuff.
It's like
Oh my god, horrible.
Ooh, it's like prison. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's true. It's like,
Was this some kind of recurring dream
Very,
at all for either of you?
I've never had recurring dreams.
no, that was
Really?
the only
Never.
time.
Yeah.
That was the only time that I dreamt something like that, and it was very like I remember every little detail of the dream, and I see the picture in my head. Whereas others, like there could be,
foggy.
they could be like very impactful on you,
I gotta stop
but
doing
like there's nothing that you could sometimes nothing that you could do to like hold on to it. Like even if you write it down or something, it's just like I don't
Fading
know. There's some
fashion.
that stick, and there's some that just drift off. I find like I don't remember every. But they do impact me. Like, let's say if I get up or something like that, and I feel like I had dreamt something, and then I think about it, and then like maybe 2 hours later, it's gone. I don't remember it anymore. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
you have to
Yeah.
write it down or something. But
Yeah.
it sounds like there's some dreams you randomly remember very well. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
for me, I don't remember them much at all. If I do remember them when I wake up, I have to write them down.
Yeah.
And then I start opening this door slowly, a very stubborn door, a very reluctant door into this like memory space for
Yeah.
dreams. And then I'm remembering like 3 or 4 a night
Yeah,
sometimes.
like or you'll see something that like was in the dream, or I don't know. Like
That's
there's
rare
something.
for me. The
No,
deja
that's
vu
rare?
feeling? Yeah.
No, not deja. Oh yeah, I guess that
Or
would
just
be
like a
deja
reminder.
vu. Yeah, just like I don't know of something like I don't know, like a material something, and no, that doesn't happen for
It's
you.
like I have to wake up and interrupt a dream pretty much and be like, oh shit, I was
Okay.
just over there. And then kind of it just all consolidates and I'm like, oh yeah, I was like this guy and I was doing this thing and this person tried to fight me and
I
we
know,
were
it's-
flying and it's like, it's just coming back and like it's a picture's worth
They're
1,000
so
words.
random,
A dream
right?
is worth fucking nothing, bro. Like in words, it's like so convoluted.
I know, it's just crazy, right? The stories that actually happen, like
And then you in the jumping locations.
you're in a different world.
I find it so odd that we like turn off like 8 hours a night. Just like doop.
Yeah,
It's
true.
literally like a fucking like an organic piece of technology. It just needs to charge overnight and then it restarts for the next day.
We
Yeah.
have to sell our souls. We are awake and we're complex
It's
biological
all that
nonsense
time,
creatures.
all that time could be doing so much, but
Yeah.
yet.
But it's needed. It's like you will die if you do not do this for 5 days in
Yeah,
a row or 6
exactly.
days in a row or something like that. Or maybe 20 days. I don't know what the timeline is for sleep deprivation.
I think the record is 11, but like it's
I
go
think
crazy.
even
problems.
like maybe after 2 days, after 2 days, you start to
You're
feel a little
hallucinating or
crazy.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, I had an
maybe
all-nighter
2
once.
or 3.
Yeah. I had an all-nighter once. I just couldn't sleep. I don't know what the fuck happened. And I remember the next day I was awake half the day and then it just started like seeing double. Like I had to like really open my eyes. And that was one
And you
day.
kind of act a little weird.
Yeah,
like
you're
a little
loopy.
weird.
You're like
I had insomnia straight up in high school. It was
Yeah.
like days sometimes I just didn't get good sleep and I
Yeah,
was just
I
like
know.
in bed and going nuts. But like you eventually get to this I don't give a fuck place. And it's kind of freeing. It's kind like you kind of
Just
like
get your,
it.
You just get your rest when you can, whenever you can, or whenever
I,
you.
I was never
you
a
feel like
napping
it.
kind of person.
No.
No, it was bad. Like it wasn't
Okay.
functional. There
Yeah.
was like I'd have like crash sleep sessions on the weekend sometimes because
Yeah.
I just couldn't sleep at night. I don't know why. But yeah, man, you get to this point where everything's flat and you're just like bah. You're like whatever. And it's good. I don't know why. It felt good.
It gave you a little bit more energy, kind of maybe. No, or you just didn't feel tired at all.
No, I felt like a
Not caring gave you
yeah,
more.
like this psychological leeway that I'm not
Yeah.
used to, where I was just like, "Fuck it, let's go." It's almost like being drunk.
Yeah,
it's
like,
an
okay, let's see.
intoxication of its own. It's an intoxication of its own sleep
Yeah.
deprivation. You feel weird. Like I find I'm a little bit more like
Yeah, free.
Yes, free,
Not
but
free,
like like things are just like I'm a little bit more loose. Like
Yeah, loose.
Like it's just a weird. Like the defenses are going down. You're getting your body's tired, but you're awake. So like you care less.
Social
Yeah.
lubrication.
Yeah, a little bit lubricated to fuck the world.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
How far into are we this whole thing? Jeez, we're going for a while. Let's keep going.
147.
I wish I had more wine. Fuck, I'm already out of it. But
Is the
No,
bottle
I think
done?
It's okay,
Yeah.
yeah, for me, yeah.
fuck, it's a party.
I'll roll another one. We'll never leave. Yeah.
Turn the strobes on.
We
They have
that
strobe
power.
setting. I turn on for a second. I'm like, fuck this, never again.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
Oh.
What? Show?
like the strobe lights.
No.
Like every fucking cheesy club has it with those lights that
Oh,
make everything
okay,
slow
okay, that's
motion.
what-
Just
okay.
do it.
I feel
Just
like
do
it's
it
like
once.
Oh, the ones that you're like.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
the
could be
flashes
like,
on and off.
oh,
Like
yeah,
the
that's
option
cool.
is
That's scary as
Do you have
Yeah.
epilepsy? Do you?
yeah.
That's like what you see in like haunted houses and
Yeah,
stuff. You know?
that,
They're
that was like a weird like
Fake lightning.
weird like 2000s club lighting that some people were using, or
Yeah.
for like random dances. You would go and they would have strobe lights.
It
It
was
was the
fun,
worst thing
kinda-
ever, though.
Kind of made like the worst dancer a little bit better, you know?
Oh, I
Slowing
was
down the
rocking
pace. Slowing down the pace a little bit.
I used to get frustrated. I'd be like, "Where is he going?" Because he's going frame by frame there, but he's not there, obviously.
It's like trying to catch a football and it bounces weird. You're like, where's this
kept-
guy going?
Because growing up with 13 to 17, I used to go to Club Circus. It was like a party for 13
Yes.
to 17. It was like
13. Oh, it's for,
Yeah, it was
okay.
like
I thought it was an
pre-club.
after hour.
No, it
It
was.
is, but they had this
on,
party.
on Friday nights. They did it for kids. Like, how funny is that? It's like it's meant to be an after hours fucking.
prepping you for the after hours that you're
Yeah,
gonna
so
friggin-
I used to go with my friends every week.
Pre-after
Friday
party.
night, it was 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. And then you leave. We all cab home and go back to our fucking parents yelling at us. And I remember I was so cool going in there. I was like this, but the strobe lights hit. And I remember just walking into people because I didn't understand the frame by frame. It was just a disaster.
yeah, like
Yeah.
were you
Disoriented, completely.
Yeah.
Also drunk, which allegedly I was 13, but whatever. But yeah, I don't even know how those
Yeah,
things
but
come
exist.
just
after you for
that
that one.
little, just that millisecond, it makes like a little.
Yeah, it
big
fucks with you.
shift.
It's
Yeah,
literally the light is meant to fuck with you. And
Yeah.
you're like, fuck you, light. You're just flashing in and out of existence.
it could be cool, but it could be like a little bit trippy,
But not in like the
Turns life
convenient
into
way.
a game. not convenient.
It's not convenient
Inconvenient.
trippy, It's just fucking.
Yeah,
It's like putting weights on and working out.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
just harder for no reason. You're like, what are you doing?
Oh my god.
Just walk around and blink a lot.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe
Jeez,
that
that
will
does
like
work.
trick your mind into thinking that
just pass out.
It's just you. Did that happen?
I never tested
know.
it, but I can imagine it won't be comfortable.
Can epileptic people give themselves seizures by just blinking like very rapidly?
Look at the TV screen and just rapidly blink. I feel bad for any epileptics listening. I'm just kidding. I love you. You are loved.
It's a genuine question.
I love you.
Yeah, we all love you.
I do.
Whoever you are, you epileptic, beautiful soul.
I had a friend in high school, and he was on track to be a cop, and he suddenly developed epilepsy, and he couldn't continue his education.
Just done, just like that. I had a friend too that had epilepsy. It's kind of scary. His mother found him having a seizure one day. Ooh.
Yeah. Actually, me too, from high school, and actually he does smoke weed. Like he uses weed as a, like he hasn't had many seizures in the past anymore.
That's a big
because of medical marijuana.
Smoking
actually.
or the oil?
I think it's the oil and also like probably a bit of smoking too.
He's just a pothead, but he
Yeah,
but
now
he takes the
just-
oil for
yeah,
epilepsy.
yeah, exactly. I think anything that has to do with it, like even edibles and stuff like that.
As long as it's in your system.
I wonder. I don't know if smoking helps epilepsy.
Well, I know.
Smoking? Okay, no smoking.
I don't know.
Doesn't it?
I don't know.
I think when it's digested, it goes into the bloodstream a little differently with the oils. I don't know. Well, for sure it does, but I don't know if that affects the epilepsy. But I know my clients, they have a baby who has some kind of condition that has seizures often, and they actually moved from New York to here because the medical marijuana was legal here, and that was the only thing that was helping that the baby with the oils have like from 10 seizures a week to like 1 a month.
Yeah.
So like something crazy like that, like
Yeah,
a huge
that's amazing
difference.
that when it comes to those kind of things, it's been proven. Like I think that's partially why maybe it got legalized in a way, because
100%.
like it shows so much success in those certain cases that the epileptic and anything
Or
kind
in
of
combination.
seizure related kind of thing, or like nausea related. I think it's really good.
But that's
for that.
why I'm so optimistic about the future for psychedelics, because it's those examples that it shows that it can benefit is what's going to get it legalized. You know,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
to be a stage 1 drug, or is it stage 1
Yeah.
or class 1, whatever, where it's like no medicinal value, dangerous, illegal, prison, to, oh wait, there's subjects with or patients with epilepsy and it's helping their seizures. Okay, let's document this. Let's research this. Let's do a study. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Oh, it works. Okay, it's medically helps, legal. And I think that's what's happened. That's the process. And it's
like, whereas everyone just anything that they heard, they just believed it from like word of mouth kind of thing. Like, oh, marijuana is horrible.
Anecdotally,
Let's like do the battle on drugs. You know, like let's go hard on it and criminalize the shit out of it. You know.
Yeah, and then that's why with the literature behind it, you can't even stop this fucking thing anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Look what happened with weed. You couldn't stop
I'm
it.
happy though that like
amazing.
people are like forward thinking. That's really good. Like nowadays, I mean, we're still not even halfway there yet. Like as far as it, like the truth, like, you know, we are for like the truth, but at least like we're more open-minded to testing the possibilities of different things, you know.
Yeah, experimenting.
Young people, and it's just hopefully it's just gonna get a little bit better. Maybe worse in other ways, but in this way, I hope that it will continue.
It's always a double-edged sword.
Exactly,
When
that's it.
things go mainstream, there's always the risk.
But is it better if it doesn't go mainstream or if it does?
It's inevitable. If
It's
it's good,
inevitable.
if it's needed, it comes up and then it
that's
gets
like,
put through the machine.
It
That's what
doesn't
it is.
matter. It doesn't, but like you always have to pay in some way for it to.
It's the yin and yang. It's like you'll have the beautiful utopia
That's
that we're envisioning, but you're gonna have the opposite dancing with it. You have to.
Yeah,
This might seem
exactly.
unrelated, but I promise it's not. What was your eating habits like during chemo? Like, did you fast?
Okay, so my eating habits were no, I didn't fast. I had a really, honestly, at the beginning when I wasn't smoking weed, I feel like I had a little bit less of an appetite. But also after chemo, I was on a dose of steroids for like 4 days after chemo because it helps with inflammation. Steroids also, they treat inflammation. They could be used to treat like arthritis and things like that. So they give it to you after chemo. And the steroids were making me not only go a little bit like crazy actually, because it's like it's your mood, it messes with your mood too. It puts you on like this upper, and it's like you're hyper but you're restless kind of thing. You're hyper, you're restless, and you're like starving all the time. Like all you want to do is eat. Like all I wanted to do during those 4 days after chemo, like actually some people reported that they can't eat, that they're like maybe it's because I got a good level of steroid. Maybe that's why I was able to eat a lot. But yes, definitely like I was eating a lot. I actually became less of a picky eater now that I'm like in remission and stuff like that after I had, because steroids actually, like sometimes I would be like, oh, I only have that and that. Okay, well, fuck it. Like I'm eating it, you know, like, or like, yeah, exactly. Like whatever I want, like, it's food. So, you know, my mom's been telling me just eat. Yeah. I'm just going to eat, you know? So like, I couldn't even control it sometimes. Like I was so hungry all the time. It was like, even without smoking weed. But then after it wears off, the steroids, because you're on it for 4 days, and then starts to wear off, and then it kind of slows down. Your appetite slows down a little bit.
You're almost describing it like an upper that fades, and then you have a crash.
It is an upper. It's definitely that's why why it's such a drug that they prescribe to almost every cancer patient and many other different things. Like it definitely puts your mood up when you're going through very like toxic and very like it definitely picks up your mood, picks up your appetite. I think that's why, because I think without it, or without something that does the same effect, you would not physically be able to function as well. You would be puking, you would be sorry to say puking, and you know,
make you
it's coming.
What if I just say the word puke?
It kind of like prevents you, you know, from so I was eating very
sweet.
well. Now I'm like, actually, now that it's been, how long has it been? It's been almost a month and a half now that I finished like my last treatment, and now I feel like it's like regulated back after taking the steroids and everything. Now I'm like, I don't know, like I'm normal. Yeah, like I'm normal. Whereas even before, when I was sick, actually, like I really was I ate, but the littlest thing could like turn me off, and I wouldn't be able to eat. Like I would look at a plate of food and I would be full. Like I would be like, oh my God, like, you know. But so now I'm like normal. That's another reason why I knew I was kind of not good, because I really didn't like food that much before. Yeah, now I'm like, I'm always down to eat.
Sick.
That's the period that helped.
But I work out too, so it's okay.
Hell yeah.
That's the balance.
I'm now finally I'm at like a healthy weight for my height, because before I was diagnosed, I think I was like 109 or something like that. Okay, like that's just terrible. I was literally, you know, but like but I had lost like, I think, how much weight? I think like 40 pounds or 30 pounds within 1 year.
Okay, that's a big,
Yeah, I was just like,
it's a nice backpack to take off.
So now I'm happy.
40 pounds.
Yeah, that's it.
I think we're at 3 hours. Is that possible?
No. Coming up 2 or something, or maybe a little past 2.
Do you have to go, Chanel?
No. Soon. Maybe in like 15 minutes.
We'll take it all.
Let's pick a random topic to end on.
I'm loving it.
I love it, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I could literally go for hours, but
I do have to pee though.
I'm gonna have to come. I'm gonna have to come by sometimes, guys.
Yes, literally.
Okay, when you need somebody and you want to have somebody, I'll come.
100%.
Why not?
Hell yeah.
We'll just get you on every like 10 episodes and just get a
Yeah,
little
that's
ham.
it. Like I'll fill some space.
every 10 we'll just have a
if there is any space, what I mean, like, you know, I'll just be
there's always going to be
so
space
down for that
for you, Chanel.
We'll do Chanel number and then just
We'll do Chanel
every
pre-ayahuasca
60,
and then
70,
post-ayahuasca.
We have to make that an experiment.
Yeah.
You know, like on shows, how there's always like that one reoccurring character that's on like talk shows, even
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Ellen or whatever. You know, like
You're
there's
the
always
Kramer.
that
Yeah, you're
one
the-
person that's like experiment. Okay, I'm going out into that. Oh, what do you feel about that? You know, like.
You're our like you're on the street, like
It's
you're
like,
the
I'm
what's
the
the word?
intern.
There's
Beck. I'm the
You're the
intern.
intern.
I'm the intern.
What's that? There's a term that I can't.
For which one? For the guinea
Like-
pig?
No, but like being on location or something. I don't know. I have to urinate. I'll be right back.
You got to be careful with that
I don't give a fuck.
that camera angle.
Don't tell me how to live. I'm my own man.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him anything.
Yeah. Go the other way.
Pee on the floor.
Yeah. Pull it back and then. Is it still filming?
Probably.
There's a screen. Don't press anything.
It is still filming.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is. We're getting
Yeah.
all of this. I hope this.
Yeah, we're gonna
beautiful
keep it all.
gold.
You guys are keeping it all. This is the 50th episode. You've stuck with us long enough. If you're jumping in right now,
Will you make it to the end? We'll see.
Yeah,
Challenge.
do we know where the end
I'll
is?
challenge you.
So ayahuasca.
Yes.
How do you feel about the idea? Well, I mean, you say you're ready and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel it. But how do you feel about it if you were to sign up in the next few weeks?
I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel like almost like the sooner the better. You know.
Do you have a clear intention going into it, or is it just like this willingness to receive?
Yeah, I feel like I thought, like I've been working a lot on
Mm.
myself in like so many ways, and I feel like I want a little bit like more material like to work on going forward, kind of thing.
Is it clarity?
Clarity, yeah, a little bit about the future, I guess.
Okay.
Like, not obviously we never know what's gonna happen in the future, but just like a little bit on like what steps like maybe I could take like after going like dealing with that kind of trauma that I've been through.
Yeah.
Like if I could use it for the better in any way, like I would
Nice.
like to know like how, you know.
Okay. So
And I don't want to go back to like how it was, how everything was before, like before I got diagnosed. Like I wasn't happy then, you know, and I really want to like move on from that, if it makes sense.
not like fall back into old
Yeah,
patterns.
exactly. Like, of course, you know, I would have been okay no matter what. Like, I'm that type of person, but I want to like do more with my future and,
Okay.
you know, like treat myself like better going through. And like, I don't want to fall back into like the same patterns as I was in before. I'm not saying that they were all bad, but I just feel like going through this, I need to take something for it, and I need to use it like for the future
Yeah.
to make myself like happy, and you know.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the next chapter, like what's going on. It's like you didn't complete one chapter, but it's you've
Mhm,
overcut.
yeah.
You're over the hill right now.
Yeah, I feel like
you know?
this is like a different era in my life, kind of thing. Like I had that era where, you know, I was young and, you know, partying and going to university and following like all that, like, but now I feel like there's more like to life than that, and I want to like be purposeful kind of going forward, you know, like,
Sweet. So that's like where you kind of want to explore now,
and give myself like some courage to go with.
dude. The courage of drinking that cup, it just that alone is so. I always tell Sammy, just being there and taking the cup is. You won. It's that terrifying, and to overcome that fear, you're like part of like the 1% of people that decided to look inwards in terms of with you can do it in meditation. Don't get mad at me, people, but to look inwards with ayahuasca, you're a very small percentage of people that are willing to take that glass, and that's a big deal. Just that alone is an accomplishment.
Yeah, like I can't wait to actually be there.
Fuck, we'll do a little because if the stars align, we would all go.
Nice.
With Johnny as well, it would be like this Curious Chimps crew.
Yeah, that would be that.
But
would be
that's if
fun.
the stars align. But we'll see what happens when the dates come out. But
Yeah, that's it. You're waiting for the.
yeah, but like I was asking the facilitator, like is ayahuasca ramping up now during COVID? Like
Oh, okay.
and it is. People are
like it's actually people are doing like
or
choosing
wanting
to do it.
or wanting to experience it.
Yeah.
It's like something's going on. There's a shift.
Oh my god,
know?
yeah. Oh, definitely. I
People
feel
are
that
there's
shift
questions.
so much.
Yeah, people are asking questions. They're questioning their
They have
life.
time to ask, like, you know, whereas
That's
like
what it
we kind
was.
of had to like be put on pause, which really sucks. And, you know, but at the same time, I feel like people have time to like question a lot of things. They have so much time on their hands. A lot of people are not working. A lot of people are not
Rethinking. The momentum stops. So you're just like, what have I been doing? You know, I have 6 weeks off, 8 weeks off. What the fuck have I been doing this whole time? And it's like, if you want to go down conspiracy, we'd say like the lockdown was important. Like they doing the lockdown for a reason. They're trying to do something.
Yeah.
But then the way I look at it now, it's almost like it's kind of backfiring. It's like we're gonna isolate everyone, but now they're all like, you're creating an awakening in that. You know?
I feel like on that situation, like I don't want to claim to like a certain side. Oh, I believe in this. I definitely know, like, but there's so much that we don't know. That's the whole idea of it, is that there's so much that we do not know. Like no matter as much as we try to, you know, say, but like we could, we fight for like what's right, you know, like and our beliefs, but at the same time, like take the best from this time kind of thing and use it to, you know, or else it just put you behind and just put you kind of like behind in that way, I feel. Yeah.
It's true.
Idealism kind of shoots us in the foot sometimes, and we forget to do our best with what we have.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Or
Like obviously not settle.
Live.
Obviously not settle for like if you're not happy with what's going on.
It's
not
a thin line sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Like don't like.
You have to accept
settle.
your needs as well.
Yeah,
your
you have
desire
to
change things.
and also what also you gain from.
Yeah.
There's a gain from every situation somehow, you know. So.
Yeah, you kind of sometimes
Well,
sometimes
not every situation, but most.
Yeah, but there's lessons. There's things that you can attain and learn from. Whether the gain is positive or negative, it's still a gain, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like these things happen. You can double down on the anger and resistance, or you can kind of navigate through the traffic and see where is your way and where you can find something to use on yourself or to grow with. You know? But that's what you're seeing right now. You're seeing, at least from what I heard and from what my interaction with people, there's more questions. People are just having more questions.
Yeah, so is that why people are trying that?
I was telling Sammy even, like, I have friends that I would never even imagine are coming up to me about DMT all of a sudden. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, shit's.
Well, that's good though, because it's you guys were talking about it, and like before this, like I listened to some kind of podcast, but like actually seeing somebody that you know do something like it makes it more, you know, like it feels
gives permission, sort of.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like
it's accessible. It's real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a little closer to home too. The idea that that I know this person.
Like think about it. Like think about certain things like that. You know, not always on the 6 o'clock news. You know.
Literally, yeah.
Other kind of news.
Yeah. The chimp news.
Yeah. Chimp news. Curious.
The signal was out, Sammy.
I have a question though. Like the beginning of your videos is like it has like a little song to it. Like where did you guys get that from?
Our friend made it for us.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it on the way here. It's weird.
Marky Beats.
Yeah. I was actually curious to hear ask you guys if you got maybe it was one of your voices in there or like you really
the Curious Chimps was me. I just said Curious Chimps, so I think he just created that loop.
Yeah, he just grabbed it from the beginning part. Yeah, but like he's a professional musician. He's a pro master level drummer.
Yeah,
maybe he wouldn't
really
say
good.
that, but love you, Mark.
I like it. It's very catchy and it's like very
it's got a vibe to it.
It captures
consistency, you know,
like
with that. I think it's really good. Perfect.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
You should have seen the conversations we had. It was like I wanted to go like da 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 da, like we're typing it out the sounds. Like I wanted didgeridoo to go like blah 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 blah.
Eventually, he just gave us something. We're like, it's perfect. Like we don't.
It's just like
great.
it's very.
It's like this. Like we had our notes, but in the end, the artist did all the work, and we were
sometimes,
like, yes.
Sometimes they bring out something out of you that you didn't even know, like kind of thing. Like, well, you kind of you knew, but like sometimes it takes like a little touch to. Some people know what you're thinking before you even, you know.
Yeah, that's
definitely cool.
They fill in the gaps for you. That's
it.
It's
well,
perfect.
they have the eye to pen. Well, in Greg's lens. He has the eye to pen translation way better than us. So he was able to translate what we wanted way closer to what we'll ever come up with.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah, that's the thing about art.
It's like where did that come from though? It's like this was a thought and now it's on the wall. It just exists.
Yeah, and it's like not too cartoony. It's still authentic. Like the art of it is not like too new. It's like I don't know how to explain it. You know.
But it just appeared on our wall, Sammy. 50
right
episodes in, and now this thing is here.
Yes.
And we were just talking about this starting a podcast.
I see this too. Little mushrooms attached to there.
Yeah, there's little details here.
Yeah, growing out of there.
You know, those were from a Christmas tree. I decorated my entire tree. Shout out to Leah. It was a great idea. My whole tree with mushrooms.
Oh my God.
Mushrooms and little alien heads. That was my Christmas tree.
That's cute. Like the last one?
Yeah. I had a mushroom tree.
You have to do that again.
Every year. That's my thing.
You have to do that again.
Fuck it. Well, if you go back into like the origins of Santa Claus, it can actually relate back to mushrooms. It's a crazy trip because the mushroom Amanita muscara is like a red mushroom with white dots all over it. So
What's it called?
Amanita muscara, I think.
Okay.
It's like the Super Mario mushroom.
Yeah, the red with the white dots.
Yes, that's a psychedelic mushroom, and that's like if you go back to the origins, that could have been the apple that Eve ate was the mushroom. Who knows?
Oh my God.
There's a whole book on it, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. Great book.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll take a look. Like it's the older
It's been
book,
around a while.
right?
Yeah, he got in big trouble for that book apparently, but he was relating Christianity to mushrooms, and that the oldest forms of Christianity was just stemmed from that mushroom experience. That the mushroom she ate was the apple in the text, but it was because that mushroom was growing around trees everywhere.
Yeah,
in the forest.
Exactly. That's true. If people like
it's crazy
technically
shit.
imagine you're starving back in the day, there's no technology or whatever, and you know that some mushrooms are nutritious.
Yeah,
Some
Or like I know
mushrooms
this one doesn't kill me.
And this one, no,
Smells okay.
I never seen this one before, but it looks good when
Let's
you try
taste it, and then
Yeah.
the universe is just communicating to you.
And then we think that is truth, like
Yeah,
from one person to another, like the story or whatever.
yeah. And
It's funny how people who like take psychedelics or suffer like manic episodes are like, I understand how Jesus works. I understand how that happens. Like enough drugs and enough like confidence, and you're just like, well, I don't know. I don't want to throw Jesus under the bus, but like just the religion in general, and truth, like you said,
kind of like no, not fanatic, like
a
in
little
way,
fanaticism,
like
a little.
bit,
I mean,
little
dude,
bit.
I mean, it's like thousands of years later. That's fanaticism.
Yeah.
Thousands of years later, they're like, hey, remember that Jesus guy? We're gonna
Yeah,
make
that's
sure
the thing.
still around.
That's like which I like. I don't claim to be any like religion, but I was like I was Catholic, so I grew up like Catholic. But I definitely believe like that there's something higher than us. I really do feel like that, and I feel like I don't know lately even more maybe because of like everything that I went through. But I wouldn't like say that I'm like religious in any way, but like sometimes the way that I'm critical of it, please don't hate me everyone, but the way that I'm critical of it is like the fact that like, okay, so Bible or whatever, let's say, like how do we know that like the people that were like very poor and that were very like at the time that this was written, did they get their say? And
Definitely not.
in what's
It's such
like,
a sliver of a story.
Exactly,
That's
and
it.
that's
It's a
it.
story
And
of
it's
a
like
story of
just
a
like
story.
today, right? Like if someone rich like wrote like something or someone got that like circulating or whatever, like did the people like the suffering or did they get a say in like in that? That's my
the
biggest.
winners write the history, right?
Exactly. That's like my biggest like. That's my biggest argument, which is that doesn't make me believe any less. It's just there, you know.
Yeah, historically speaking, it's a mess.
Yeah.
Spiritually speaking, nailed it.
But it's always good to be spiritual. That's the thing I love about spirituality, like, and connecting like to yourself and to others on like that sort of level, because like that definitely like I don't know how to explain it.
I know what you're
right?
getting to. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you don't need a context.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus
you don't
or no Jesus.
You're not committing to you're committing to something that you know is beneficial, like for you.
For
kind
you.
of thing, you know.
Yeah, and it works for you, and it's good. You know.
Yeah.
You know, some people if they find their way through the text of Jesus and Christianity or Judaism, fucking love it. Beautiful. You're a beautiful
It is
human.
beautiful. Yeah.
I didn't resonate with any of them. You know, I found my own way to God and to my sense of God on my own. And
Me too.
What the value of that is, the value of that for me. It doesn't matter what you think or whatever. If it's not by the Jewish law, whatever, it's working for me. I feel great.
Yeah, and if you feel really happy about it and it brings you happiness, then who's to say that it's like wrong, you know? Well, there's certain things that are you just don't do, like don't go killing someone or something, you know. But like,
yeah, it's a good PSA. Don't kill people.
But if you're truly living an honest life, you wouldn't have those kind of urges to kill someone because you're living true to what you feel.
Who knows what motivates people?
That's true.
I don't fucking know why people do shit. I agree with that. I know like that's a good preface. That's a good PSA. Like, if you kind of come to the conclusion, maybe it's diluted and maybe you're still going to kill people. Sorry. That's your karma. But if you come to the conclusion that you're a good person, then you can just kind of make life about you long enough to heal and be like of service.
Yeah.
You know, like
of service.
Yeah. Don't worry about being of service until
hopefully
you're
there'll be a day that you
serve.
wake up and you're like, I'm really happy with where I am. And
yeah, I guess that's a balancing act too. That's
Yeah.
something I never understand is balance. Deep down in my core, I'm an extremist, and it has to be all or nothing for everything, and it's very irritating because none of that applies to real life.
Yeah, but it's actually good. But at least in that way, you could like turn around and say that like when you're committed to something, you're very like, which some people sometimes lack, you know. So that's a good thing in that way, you know. 100,
pros and cons. Pros
you could
and cons.
manipulate it into your benefit. You could direct that kind of mechanism.
Like you'll have like someone's back, like you'll be someone that will have someone's back over something, or you know.
Yeah, no, that's true. Loyalty is a byproduct of that for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
That's a really big byproduct.
Amazing. That's the best.
Damn. We got to end this at some point. Let's conclude this. I could go for another 2 hours.
Guys.
Let's just keep chilling, but turn the things off.
Thank you all for joining us for this 50th episode. 50 episodes, Chanel.
Wow. We love you.
Congratulations,
we
guys.
love you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You didn't fucking die. Fuck cancer. Fuck you, cancer.
Yeah,
I don't know why I pointed up.
Seriously, fuck cancer.
In this
that's all I have to
fuck
say.
cancer.
And
that's going to be the name of this
episode is coming out on the 15th, right?
On Monday.
Wait, is that the 14th?
Perhaps.
Yeah, well, anyways,
It's the 14th, actually,
day
yeah.
after is Lymphoma Awareness Day.
On the 15th.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
awesome.
Educate yourself on, you know, it's very common, lymphoma, and like look up the side effects and everything. Make sure that you're good. Take care of your health always, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
take care of you. Be fit to serve. Don't worry about other people.
In every way.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah. And
in
just
all the ways. The spiritual ways, the mental ways, the food ways.
Every way.
The sex
take care of
ways.
yourself.
don't
If
think
you're into
health is just nutrition. Think
and
of it
love
as
the
everything.
people around you. Give love, spread love. Like life is short, right? You never know how long your life is going to be. So
The control is an illusion.
yeah, that's it.
I guess we could put some links or something for if there's like
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well,
awareness
I'll
sites
give you.
and
I'll
your
give you the
YouTube.
Put it in the
Lymphoma
description.
Society of
Everything.
Canada. I'm gonna definitely. We could link it and yeah.
Okay.
Donate if you want.
Cherish. We love you all. Take care. Thank you for
And
joining
give
us.
blood.
Yes.
Give blood. I'm joking.
especially if you're O negative.
All right.
And stay curious.
Serious.
Ooh.